spokesman for the terror group says that Kevin King has heart and kidney problems. He and an Australian were abducted last year outside a university in Kabul where they were teachers. The Taliban's tried to get on to another prisoner exchange. Another instant classic of the World Series. The Astros beat the Dodgers 13-12 on Alex Bregman's game-winning hit in the 10th inning on Fox.
I was so happy just to help this team win.
Both teams lost 4-run leads at one point in a back-and-forth game that didn't end until after midnight Houston time. The Astros lead 3-2. The next game is tomorrow night in L.A. Fox News, fair and balanced.
41 degrees in Chicago. Cloudy skies, winds from the southwest at 9 miles an hour. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott on AM 560, The Answer, and at 5:02. Here are the stories we're following this morning. An investigation is underway following a deadly shooting during a Halloween party in Lake Forest. Authorities say Shaft Wilson was found shot to death yesterday outside a home in the 1300 block of West Estate Lane. Investigators believe shots were fired after an argument broke out between several people at the party. A Waukegan woman suffered minor injuries after she was trampled by partygoers running from the scene. Governor Rauner's re-election bid may be getting a bit more difficult. Republican State Representative Jeanne Ives yesterday officially announcing her bid for governor. She chose former Quad Cities State Representative Rich Morthland as her running mate. Ives says conservative and Republican voters in the state can no longer trust Governor Rauner. Pat Quinn wants to get back in the state government game. Former governor last week filed the paperwork to mark a run for Illinois Attorney General. Quinn served 6 years as governor and before that as Illinois Treasurer, lost to Bruce Rauner in 2014. A new report released by City of Chicago officials claims to show where guns used in Chicago crimes come from. The 2017 Gun Trace report says 60% of firearms used in city crimes between 2013 and 2016 came from outside of Illinois. The study also found that nearly 1/4 of guns recovered at crime scenes came from just 10 Chicago area businesses. The authors of that report argue for recommendations that include legislation that would push aggressive regulations on already tightly regulated gun dealers in the state. Charges are pending after a 16-year-old girl was killed in an accidental shooting on Chicago's South Side. Police say a person was handling a gun last night inside of a home near 66th and Marquette when she was accidentally shot. The teenager was struck in the eye and pronounced dead at the scene. Later, the shooter was taken into custody. Authorities have identified a man and woman killed in an apparent murder-suicide over the weekend in Plainfield. Elaine Zenny died after she was found shot Saturday in the parking lot of a Jewel-Osco on Route 59. Investigators contend she was gunned down by her ex-husband, Raymond Zenny. He was later found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside of his townhome. High carbon monoxide levels at a church on Chicago's west side. To blame for sending 10 to the hospital, 7 children and 3 adults fell ill yesterday at the Bethel Apostolic Church. 2 duffel bags containing what police believe to be human remains were discovered in a Chicago park. Chicago Sun-Times reports that fishermen called police Saturday morning after discovering one of the bags near a lagoon in Lincoln Park. A dive team later recovered a second bag. Police in Grayslake are asking people to help spot the city's coyotes. Grayslake last week authorized the city to hire trappers to rid the Lake County community of coyotes. The coyotes apparently are eating trash, even attacking small pets. There's no word on how much the effort will cost or how many coyotes the city is looking to get rid of. A lot of people in Illinois apparently have strong opinions about rest areas in the state. The Illinois Department of Transportation last week said there were about 4,500 people responding to a new survey. The rest area survey was taken over the past 2 weeks. The state wants to know what you would like to see at rest stops, which need to be repaired and which could be closed. IDOT says some of the rest areas and welcome centers are nearly 40 years old. getting close to the end of their useful lives. Drew Brees completed 23 of 28 for nearly 300 yards against a Bear defense that ranked 6th against the pass. Saints beat the Bears 20-12. The news is service of LBJ the Movie. And at 5:06, we'll have traffic and weather in just a moment on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on this Monday morning, I'm Jim Talamonte, and on the expressways and tollways, check the Edens first. We're outbound at Willow Road. The exit ramp remains closed to a rollover semi. It's been there for several hours, and this is blocking the exit ramp, again, to Willow from the outbound Edens. Edens itself is looking good. No delays to report on the Kennedy. Express lanes are open inbound. 190 still okay on this Monday morning. The Eisenhower's clear. Overnight work at the Burn Circle is gone. Stevenson just fine. The outbound Ryan, roadways down to one lane from 87th to Split till 6 o'clock. I-57, Bishop Ford looking good. Lakeshore Drive as well. No problems to report on the area tollways or northwest Indiana. Roadwork starts today in Naperville at the intersection of 95th, Plainfield-Naperville Road, only affecting the left turn lanes. Traffic service of LBJ the Movie. This Friday, don't miss director Rob Reiner's new film, LBJ, starring Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson as the bombastic 36th President of the United States. This Friday in theaters everywhere, rated R. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Today, some sun, then becoming windier and chilly, high 49. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and chilly with a low 31. Still chilly tomorrow with periods of clouds and sunshine, high 43. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by MyPainChicago.com. World-class treatment for chronic pain. Go to MyPainChicago.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's Public Official Indictment Monday here on Chicago's Morning Answer, as we call it in Illinois, Monday.
So I love sealed indictments. That was the name of my junior high school band.
Yeah. Corey Hardcover Band?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard about it, right?
I heard you wear your sunglasses at night.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a second, but I wanted to get the final tally. More points on the board. The Astros, the Dodgers, or Mitch Trubisky? Because I know volleyballs were on the line.
Yeah. He kills me because he teases me. He's just right there. You know, he's right. I need him to have 10 fantasy football points in order to succeed. And guess what he got? 9. 9.3.
That Zach Miller touchdown pass that wasn't really cost you. And then the interception.
That's what killed me. Both of those two combined.
Well, and it wasn't great for Zach Miller and his dislocated knee either.
Now he
did his best.
Yeah, he's out for the season.
And how about that Astros-Dodgers game?
Wasn't that? Yeah, that was so much fun. It's heart-stopping. I mean, this is the most exciting World Series we've ever had, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. It almost 22 home runs so far in the series, and now Houston's one win away from winning their first ever World Series. And don't you want them to win? I mean, the city's been through so much, and
for Jose Cruz,
team.
For Bagwell and Biggio, for J.R. Richard.
No, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
for all of the Houston greats, for Brad Lidge, for Billy Wagner.
Oh my gosh, you're going down deep.
Here's the thing. That's the other thing that was nice about the Astros win, and that's that epic game, 13-12. If you missed it, if you fell asleep, is Yuli Gurriel gets off the front pages.
Yeah, that helps him. Did he play last night?
He's suspended for 5 games for his Chinese gesture towards Darvish, but 5 games next year.
Oh, I see.
Not taking him out of the World Series.
Darvish spoke after the game, when after Saturday night's game, and he has a translator here, but he expressed himself.
Of course, like Houston has like Asian fans and Japanese fans, and Asians like all over the place, and now that acting like that, it just disrespect all the people around the world. To the Houston organization, that's just not a good thing.
It's not a good
thing. No, it was not a good thing, and
what was his defense? He was getting something out of his eyes.
No,
Gurriel. The temples.
Gurriel said Chinito is how Cubans refer to all Asians, whether they're Chinese or Japanese. Darvish, Japanese. And that was about all he said. It didn't seem like it really took the offensive gesture he made and why it was so offensive. It was more just kind of explaining the offensive gesture from Gurriel. But anyway, he sort of apologized and everybody sort of moved on.
Well, not really. Dodger fans were not happy.
That was messed up. You know what? Let's leave all that out of that. Let's talk about his actual potential as a pitcher. That's all that matters. His potential as a pitcher. Let's go with that.
Well, he didn't pitch very well. He gave up 4 runs, and then they yanked him out of the
the Dodgers had moved on to concerns about Clayton Kershaw blowing a 4-run lead last night, which is what happened. So anyway, that's baseball. And then on football, this whole Houston Texans thing. Houston Texans, if you missed this story, Bob McNair, who's their owner, ESPN the magazine reported that at the NFL owners meeting, when the owners were discussing players kneeling for the anthem and, of course, the firestorm that's ensued, that McNair said effectively, we can't let the inmates run the prison.
Yeah, can't let the inmates run the asylum or the prison. Yeah.
But
we say that all the time.
Right.
I mean, if you're ever a teacher or coach or a parent, you always say you can't let the inmates run the asylum.
But those are not the days in which we live. And so the Texans and all of those, like Colin Kaepernick, a Che Guevara fan, Castro acolyte, they took offense to this as racist, blah, blah, blah. So before their game with the Seahawks, which they lost yesterday, by the way, maybe spend more time worrying about your prevent defensive schemes at the end of the game and less time worried about Bob McNair's aphorisms. But they all knelt in locked arms before the game to protest Bob McNair's comment. In addition, I get maybe to the anthem, too, in solidarity with Kaepernick. I don't know. There's so many layers to the nonsense. But that's what they did. And if I was Bob McNair,
what would you do?
I would have said, oh, you don't want to play for Bob McNair? And I would have referred to myself in the third person. No problem. Bob McNair will put a hold on those checks, will obviate those contracts, and we'll get players who take something like a cliche like that in the innocent construction in which it was intended. It wasn't a racial comment, as you mentioned. This inmates run the asylum, inmates run the prison. This is a platitude. I mean, it's not a platitude, but it's just an aphorism, as I said.
Yes.
And it wasn't racially
Has anybody on the Houston Texans any of them spent time in prison? No.
I don't
Is
know.
it the fact that they could go to prison, or because there's a large amount of African Americans in our prison system? Possibly, but they didn't say that. Instead, they just took a knee against that comment. And Bob McNair, he's like a cat scratching to get in the house. He wants to be forgiven. He's apologized 3 different times now. I think he should stop apologizing.
Well, he shouldn't have apologized. I apologize to anyone who was offended, which is a non-apology apology.
Oh, yeah.
He also said that the inmates wasn't a reference to NFL players. It was actually referring to the league office when it came to the players kneeling. In other words, not letting the league office run this. The owners have to step up and make the determinations here. Texans cornerback Jonathan Joseph said the apology hadn't been accepted by the entire team, so that's why the demonstration. I mean, is there anything more tedious and tiresome than these guys? Than as so many people have said, these pampered athletes that are looking to be offended like they're, campus snowflakes. I mean, it's just they're so tired.
Well,
they think they're providing some
the
leadership.
World. Yeah, I know. But they're one knee at a time. Speaking of taking a knee, remember the Oakland A's catcher, Bruce Maxwell, who took a knee during the Major League Baseball game against the Texas Rangers. Remember, he's the only one who has ever knelt, ever, so far in the history of baseball. He's been arrested. Little guy got into some trouble. He apparently pulled a gun on a food delivery person, a woman, who showed up at his home in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh.
And police came and they took him into custody. He's been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and disorderly conduct. Police said he was being held, pending an initial court appearance.
May not be able to make the team next year. That'd be a shame. And by the way, the whole taking a knee thing, I think now that's insensitive to Zach Miller.
Because he can't take a knee?
Correct.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Thank you. I thought I had tinnitus. There was buzzing in the ear. Today, it's going to be pretty brisk. 44 degrees right now, going up to a high of 48 degrees. Sprinkles likely. Some light flurries possibly up north in the northern suburbs. And then tomorrow, about 40 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Good Monday morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Eden's Expressway outbound. The exit to Willow Road has reopened. The ramp there had been closed for several hours after a semi rolled over during the overnight. Everything is all clear on the Edens now. The Kennedy's just fine. Reversible lanes are open inbound. And outbound traffic starting to build. You'll likely see some congestion approaching O'Hare and at the airport in the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. The Eisenhower still good. Same goes for the Stevenson. Inbound ride a little tight Roosevelt into the Burn Circle. 16 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound, it's down to 1 lane from 87th to Split till 6 this morning. I-57 a little heavy approaching the merge. Bishop Ford got a 2-minute delay. Cottage Grove to the Rhine. Tollways are good. Northwest Indiana clear. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Ever wonder how marketing got so complicated? When you're a large company with a national presence, you expect things like the execution of marketing materials, displays, and branded merchandise to just work. But marketing departments are buried in figuring out how to get displays to stores while fielding calls from frustrated customers and salespeople, instead of focusing on the next big idea to stay ahead of the curve. It's tough to grow a business that way. Madden has a different method. They take on the day-to-day project management, procurement, logistics, and customer service, letting your team focus on innovation. Madden is the expert in promotional marketing and merchandising. They take the most complex campaigns and make them simple to execute and manage. And it can save you up to 35% in total process improvement for your marketing and supply chain. Get in touch with Madden today and make your complex promotions and marketing campaigns simple. It's time to get focused. All the info you need to get started is at Madden.com. Madden.com.
So many tools all over the place and not enough cabinet space. This garage is a mess. Time to get organized with StoreLock, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And it's 100% made in the USA in Kankakee with a 55-year guarantee from top to bottom. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. And it's fully assembled when it ships. You'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere and everywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. It's time to get your home, garage, or business organized. Call the owner, Mike Ryan, personally at 1-800-786-7562. That's 1-800-STOR-LOC. Or go to StoreLock.com. You'll save big when you visit StoreLock in person at the FabTech Show at McCormick Place, Chicago, November 6th through the 9th. Check them out. It's hard to filter through all the noise. Sorting through healthcare plans for yourself or your business makes your head hurt. Will this plan take care of what you need? Will it fit your budget? Who has the time to shop around? It's a lot to deal with and figure out. The solution to your healthcare plan problems? Summit Solutions. Talk to real people and get answers in simple terms you can understand and negotiate a plan that's right for you. Summit Solutions is an independent advisor with the freedom to custom design solutions and solve your healthcare plan problems. They'll assist and explain not only healthcare to your employees, but also retirement planning. Here's what one of their customers says. Summit Solutions has consistently met or surpassed our expectations. We've never had to consult with any other broker or agent for any type of coverage. They've been an essential component to our success and growth. Call Summit Solutions for a free consultation or analysis of your plan, 773-685-9077, or visit SummitSolutionsUSA.com. Summit Solutions. Insure, invest, retire. Join the fun at the Ultimate Sports Dome in Aurora for the inaugural Golf, Fitness, and Home Tent Sale. This 3-day event happens October 27th, 28th, and 29th and showcases products and services for golf equipment and clothing, home improvement, sports, fitness, and nutrition. There really is something for everyone. Ladies can shop for home items, while the men can find golf stuff. And fitness buffs can find everything from nutrition to the latest in fitness equipment. Get an early start on Christmas shopping. You'll find great gifts for everyone. Plus, enjoy fun and games for shoppers to stay active. A long putt contest, closest to the pin, basketball and shooting contest, bouncy houses for the kids, and so much more. It's going to be a great time with great deals. Don't miss the Golf, Fitness, and Home Tent Sale, October 27th, 28th, and 29th. Doors open at 11 a.m. on Friday and 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Only at the Ultimate Sports Dome, 1900 Hill Avenue in Aurora. Admission is only $5 and kids 12 and under free. For all the info, go to SportsZonePark.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, good morning. And
hey, is this mic work?
yeah, I
yeah.
hear you.
You hear me. I
Yeah.
guess I had a mic problem before.
All right, congratulations
Well,
on getting that resolved.
Thank you.
So a couple of announcements over the weekend, political announcements, local political announcements. One is that State Representative Jeanne Ives, who we've had on the show many times, Republican from Wheaton, she began circulating petitions to challenge Bruce Rauner in a primary, announcing her running mate, Rich Morthland, who's a former state rep from the Quad Cities.
Wow. And she'll be joining us at 7:37 this morning.
She will.
What's her running mate's name again? Rich
Morthland.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So she's taking kind of the next step. Candidates have to file by December 4th, so she's at least got to circulate petitions to get to the place where, she can file and she can run. So this is getting more interesting, particularly against the backdrop of Rauner being out of town this week on a trade mission to Israel. So it's should be an interesting week in Illinois politics as everybody waits with bated breath for indictment number 1 at the national level.
Are you going to tell them the other big political news in Illinois, or do you want me to?
About
Governor Quinn?
The other big political news. No, it's funny.
Or is that a rumor?
I was it's funny. I was thinking about this over the weekend. Where that head lice.
Yeah.
They live their entire lives on the human scalp, and they suck blood out of your head.
Right, but their home is the hair follicle, and then
Right. So that That's what got me thinking about what Pat Quinn was up to.
Yeah, he might run for attorney general.
No, he is running.
He is for sure going to run. This is 100% sure. Okay, because I wasn't.
Well, he announced he's running for attorney general.
Okay, that's good.
Everything not even very old is new again. Pat Quinn running. I mean, Pat Quinn has run for office
his entire life,
every cycle for the last 30 years. So why should
well,
this
it wouldn't
be any
be
different?
an election if he wasn't running for something.
It's exciting to have Pat Quinn, noted barrister. The prospect of him being attorney general, isn't it? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. More excited about the potential Republican primary against Ronner to be mounted by State Representative Jeanne Ives, or that Pat Quinn's back in your life?
But I thought I said goodbye to him. He's like the bad boyfriend who keeps coming back for more. You know, like, can I get in, please? Please love me. Take me back.
You know, it's like with Pat Quinn, how I think about it.
Oh.
I think about it as like the end of Lost in Translation with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson, where he whispers in his ear, in her ear, you know, what was that? What did he say? Something like, "I have to go now, but that won't keep us apart," or something like that. That's how I think of Pat Quinn, whispering in my ear when he loses an election, that this isn't goodbye.
No, it's. Just...
We will meet again. In this life or the next.
Do you think he stands a chance, though, against Erica Harold? I mean, he has the name recognition. We understand that.
Yeah.
But to go from governor then to attorney general, lieutenant governor, I mean, he's got a full resume.
Illinois can't quit Pat Quinn. Did I ever tell you my Pat Quinn story about how he was almost my father?
Please.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. So my...
Well, that was after you were born a poor black child, right?
Yeah. My grandmother and his mom went to the same hairdresser, I think in Western Springs. Maybe it was Hinsdale, but he grew up in Hinsdale. My grandparents, my mom's side, lived in Western Springs.
Okay.
And Pat Quinn's mom.
Yes. And your grandma?
And my grandmother. Pat Quinn's mom tried to set my mom up with Pat Quinn on a date. And my grandmother was game for it.
Really?
So I could have been Pat Quinn's kid. Imagine. I hate you, Dad. No, I really mean it. It's not a phase. No, I really hate you, Dad.
How family dinners would be.
Yeah. Dad, stop sleeping in your suit. Take your suit off when you get home, and then get in pajamas, and then put a new suit on in the morning. You don't have to wear the same suit every day.
Preferably one that fits. Could be tailored. Wow.
Could you imagine?
So why didn't they go on the date?
My mom had good taste.
Oh, she knew?
Yeah. Dork. I was not going on with that dork Quinn.
She waited around for Larry. Real guy. Larry Proft.
She only dated
studly men. Like
Niles North.
Yeah.
This is the Niles North. That was the
she didn't like
clear.
Fenwick. She was Niles North.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. She was an every woman.
Uh-huh.
Like, could you imagine?
Oh, my goodness. No, I don't even want to think about it. It's too early on a Monday morning for you to ruin my life and tell me this story.
How about me having to think about that, carry this weight all my life, that I was this close to having Pat Quinn as a father.
So when your mom told you that story, or did your grandmother tell you that story?
My mom told me this story. Yeah. I just ran screaming from the room. I've never really gotten over
Daniel, I need to talk to you. There's something you need to know about the family. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, we'll pick up all the Russian dossier discussions that dominated the weekend at 5:38.
Yes, who is it and what will they be charged with? But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott. I hope you're feeling okay, Mike. Are you good?
We're getting better. 41 degrees, cloudy skies, winds from the southwest at 9. Arrests could begin a little later today in the special counsel investigation, as Dan and Amy just mentioned, into the Russian meddling in the presidential election. That according to reports from several sources, including CNN, who reported late last week that special counsel Robert Mueller's team had secured its first grand jury indictment. Former federal prosecutor and current New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says the target of the first charges sought by a special prosecutor likely already knows.
If you've been asked to come into the grand jury, they've got to advise you of your status as to whether you're a target. If you've been told you're a target, believe me, you're not sleeping well anyway.
Christie on ABC's This Week A Montana energy company that signed that controversial $300 million contract to help restore power to Puerto Rico says it's disappointed the contract has been dropped. Governor Ricardo Rossello directed Puerto Rican power authorities yesterday to immediately cancel the contract with Whitefish Energy. A high-ranking career federal prosecutor is stepping down this morning after the Attorney General's office told him to submit his resignation. Dana Bente is U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. He was an Obama-era appointee. 2 members of the Navy's elite SEAL Team 6 are under investigation this morning on suspicion that they murdered a Green Beret in Mali. Army Staff Sergeant Logan Melgar was found strangled in June in housing he shared with other Special Forces troops. Authorities say an investigation is underway following a deadly Halloween party shooting in Lake Forest. Governor Rauner's re-election bid may be getting a bit more difficult as State Republican Representative Jeanne Ives yesterday officially announced a bid for governor. And authorities have identified the man and woman killed in an apparent murder-suicide over the weekend in Plainfield as Elaine Zenny and Raymond Zenny. Bears fell to the Saints Sunday 20-12. Blackhawks and Flyers hit the ice Wednesday at the UC. Bulls begin a 2-game trip to Florida on Wednesday as well. And the Astros beat the Dodgers 13-12 in 10 innings. Now lead that World Series 3-2. The News is a service of Staples with great prices on everything you need to print. Buy select HP printers at Staples and have ink automatically show up in your mailbox before you need it. Print up to 15 pages per month, free, or upgrade to another plan. See staples.com/instaink for details. Staples, it's pro time. 5:33, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes there are some issues we should all agree on.
Am I wrong to react to the Harvey Weinstein scandal by observing that not everything has to be left versus right? There is this paradigm now where everything that occurs becomes left versus right.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
The private bank is now CIBC. Their name may have changed, but their commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
5:35 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. On the Edens Expressway outbound at Willow Road, everything is open again. There was a rollover semi on the outbound side which had the exit to Willow blocked. It happened during the overnight hours, but now it's all cleared and everything is fine on the Edens. Kennedy looking good. Eisenhower inbound at the Burns Circle. There is a new lane configuration after weekend roadwork, so we're expecting this to cause some delays this morning. Right now, the Ike is fine. It's 29 minutes either way between Thorndale and downtown. Down Stevenson, heavy Pulaski to Kedzie and Ashland to the Ryan. 36 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound fine at 34. On Ryan, 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 19. Tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana, 2. Traffic is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Some sun today. We'll have winds kick up. Chilly, though, high 49. Partly cloudy, breezy, and chilly, low 31 overnight. Currently, we have 44 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6 with breaking news as it happens. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. There's a lot of optimism out there, but you know what? These Republicans in Congress, they had better cut taxes. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's Public Official Indictment Monday, and we'll keep you abreast of who gets taken away in cuffs if and when that happens. Maybe.
And you should see reporters are stationed out in front of Manafort's place. All the main characters just waiting to see who the FBI is going to pick up this morning.
What about Mueller's place? Maybe. What if the first arrest is Mueller having himself arrested and indicted? Because, there was this problem of Mueller's investigatory team leaking information, which leaking private grand jury proceedings turns out to be a crime. And this is the point Trey Gowdy made when he was on, one of the points he made was on with Chris Wallace over the weekend. And it was a point that he described making to Mueller.
The only conversation I've had with Robert Mueller, it was stressing to him the importance of cutting out the leaks with respect to serious investigations. So it is kind of ironic that the people charged with investigating the law and executing the law would violate the law. And make no mistake, disclosing grand jury material is a violation of the law.
That's right. So that's an interesting note. I doubt it will be Mueller having himself arrested.
I like your little fantasy you played out in your head.
Well, but it's just worth pointing out that that's a portion of the story, too, as this unwinds and goes into unexpected directions. But the first thing is the dossier and what we now know about it, and watching all of the Clintonistas do damage control this weekend on the Sunday talk shows, with one exception, I would say, Leon Panetta. Leon Panetta said, look, all this stuff, this is a matter for the House Intel Committee to look at.
So it's very awkward. How could both the chair of the DNC and the Clinton campaign not know about these payments?
Well, it's obviously something that the Intelligence Committee is going to have to look at. Knowing presidential campaigns, they're big operations, and somehow the left hand may not know what the right hand is doing, and that could be the case here. But I really do think that the committee is going to have to get into this, determine just exactly what happened, who knew what, and when.
But if the lawyer who was representing the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign, Mark Elias, is sitting next to John Podesta, he was asked, do you know about the funding? He says no. Wouldn't it be his responsibility to at least whisper in his ear, yes, you, and tell him what was going on? So if he wasn't lying, John Podesta, he would be able to clarify all of that before the committee in a sensitive issue like this?
Well, it certainly makes the situation very awkward.
Yeah.
If you're testifying and saying you have no knowledge and the attorney sitting next to you is one of those that knew what was involved here, I think it does raise an issue that the committee is going to have to look at and determine just exactly who knew what.
And what Panetta, former CIA director, is referring to there is a Senate Intelligence Committee where Podesta gave testimony last month, unaware of any funding connection between the campaign, Fusion GPS, and the dossier. And Mark Elias, who was the Clinton campaign attorney orchestrating all this, we now know, was sitting next to him as his counsel. I think Andy McCarthy summed it up nicely in his piece in National Review Online. Strip away the buffers, Steele and Perkins Coie, Steele, the agent for Fusion GPS, Perkins Coie, the law firm, at which Mark Elias is a partner. Strip away the buffers in the dossiers and exercise in Clinton campaign collusion with Kremlin-connected sources to produce information that would cripple the Trump campaign and, failing that, undermine the Trump presidency. I think that sums it up in about a sentence. And it also destroys Democrats' credibility on the entire topic.
Yeah, but, I mean, don't you want to know who is being charged with what? I mean,
of course.
Paul Manafort, General Mike Flynn, possibly a Trump sibling. Is that, I mean...
Trump sibling?
Well, one of the Jared Kushner.
Well,
that's possible.
Who? You mean a Trump's
I'm
son-in-law?
Trump's son-in-law, a family member, somebody in Trump's inner circle.
Which Jared Kushner is a person?
And then CNN was saying this morning that President Trump, for firing Comey would be an obstruction of justice.
Well, they've been saying that for a long time. By the way, Jim Comey, you recall, repeatedly testified. Now, Jim Comey's integrity is in question, so if you don't want to believe this, but you can't pick and choose what you want to believe if you're going to question his integrity. Comey repeatedly told Trump that he was not a target of the investigation.
Yeah.
So that's...
And Comey testified that he gave information to one of his former professors, classified information.
Right, using him as the cutout.
Right.
Speaking of CNN... CNN's undisclosed ties to Fusion GPS.
Oh, they're related too?
CNN has left out this fact, which should be disclosed just ethically. The CNN reporting on the dossier has been led by its justice correspondent, Evan Perez. Evan Perez was someone who... two things, I guess. One, he's relied largely on unnamed sources. He has a personal closeness to Fusion GPS principles. At the Wall Street Journal, Perez and Glenn Simpson, who's the Fusion co-founder, who took the fifth before congressional committees, Perez and Simpson regularly co-authored stories on national security. They were colleagues together at the Journal. Another Fusion founder, Tom Catan, worked as a reporter for the Journal at the same time as Perez and Simpson. The third Fusion co-founder, Peter Fritsch, worked above Perez and Simpson as the senior national security editor. So Evan Perez, leading the reporting on the dossier for CNN, was a colleague of the Fusion GPS co-founders at the Wall Street Journal, and that has not been disclosed. And he's citing unnamed sources. Golly, I wonder who those unnamed sources may be. The same unnamed sources pleading the fifth before a congressional committee? So the incestuous nature of all of this just kind of grows as more information is unearthed.
Right, but what really bothers me is who leaked this information about the sealed indictment? Who got that? Because that is so sacred. And I know because I've testified before a grand jury, you cannot leak any information because that is a crime. So who is the leaker?
Well, that's, as you heard from Trey Gowdy, that's something he's interested in, or he's certainly interested in it stopping. The other thing is temper your enthusiasm that whoever may or may not get indicted today is going to turn out to be some kind of star witness that takes you up the food chain in one direction or the other. Trey Gowdy making this point with Wallace.
These investigations come down to documents and evidence much more so than they do witness testimony. So I would caution your viewers, don't get too excited that all of a sudden the government now has a star witness. That star witness you probably didn't believe a week ago and you won't believe a week from now.
And Panetta mentioned that this is all worthy of House Intel investigation, all of the surrounding dishonesty from the Democrats, frankly, about the dossier. That's all worthy. But Gowdy focused on, kind of what's really important about the dossier. It's the dossier as the basis for this FBI investigation into Trump and associates, the basis for FISA warrants. That's where the question that he wants to get to the bottom of.
I am much more interested in whether or not the Department of Justice and the FBI relied upon that dossier in initiating a counterintelligence investigation or in court filings. That is really important to me. I don't expect the DNC to be objective. Almost by definition, opposition research is not objective. I do expect an entity represented by a blindfolded woman to be objective, and if they relied on that dossier and they didn't corroborate it or vet it, then we have a serious issue, and that's the next thing that House Intel is trying to find out is whether or not the U.S. government relied on it.
And thus the announcement last week that the House Intel Committee has opened an investigation into the Obama Justice Department. Gowdy also made the larger point about all of this with respect to Democrats who've been preening and beating their shoes on lecterns for the last 10 months about Trump-Russian collusion.
Well, one of the areas of significance, Chris, is just how hard the Democrats in Congress fought Republicans for trying to gain access to this information. If it were up to Adam Schiff and other Democrats, who, of course, want all the facts to come out. They want all the facts of Russia to come out, except who financed the dossier. So that's the most important thing to me, is how unserious the Democrats in the House have been about uncovering all the facts.
Unserious Democrats when it comes to the facts. This is all just kind of cheap politics until it turned on Clinton's and, to some extent, potentially implicating Obama and former senior national security officials in the Obama administration with the basis for the investigation, with the curious unmasking, with the crime that we know was committed that has been completely lost, the illegal unmasking of General Flynn, regardless of what other trouble he may be in. It doesn't absolve of the person who was responsible for that illegal unmasking. All of that has been lost, and now, as it's turning back on Clinton Inc. and Obama and his various appendages and the Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder-led Justice Department, it's getting quite interesting. But Gowdy's point there is really the big takeaway if you want to understand Democrats' posture. They were never interested in the facts. They were interested in prosecuting a narrative and prosecuting anybody else they could associate with Trump under that narrative. Maxine Waters, over the weekend.
Oh, I bet she's all fired up.
Over the weekend at a barbecue in Orangeburg, of all places, Orangeburg. Thinking about Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Orangeburg, South Carolina. This is her message to the Democrat faithful in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
For those 4 soldiers who were killed in Niger are to be respected. And he did not do that. As Mrs. Johnson said about her husband, not only did he say, well, he should have known what he was getting into, he also didn't even remember the man's name. So he has dishonored these Gold Star families. And we're the patriots, and Frederica led the fight, and we're demanding an apology. General Kelly had a great reputation before he went to the White House. Everybody that goes there gets contaminated. And so he stood up for the president, he lied for the president, and he now does not have the credibility that a 4-star general should have. But ladies and gentlemen, that's who we are. This is our history. We have been fighting. We've had to make lots of sacrifices in the history of this country. You all know that. We've had to fight for everything that we have. And you think we're going to stand back and let something like 45 take it away from us? I say no. I say impeach 45. Impeach 45. Impeach 45.
You get the gist of it. It's about impeaching President Trump, undermining the legitimacy of his election, of his presidency, as Andy McCarthy said. That's what this has always been about for the Democrats. And kind of they took a flyer, not knowing what they didn't know, not being concerned about what they didn't know. And it turns out what they didn't know is terribly problematic. Terribly problematic for them.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Shoot Point Blank is now open in Naperville. A safe and comfortable shooting range and gun shop, Shoot Point Blank features climate-controlled shooting lanes, retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Shop top brands including Glock, Ruger, or Smith & Wesson. Experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
Great range, great service, great staff.
Now open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's the reason so many people are talking about their Point Blank experience.
Brett was very friendly, and he answered all my questions. And because I'm new to pistols, I'm really grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
Fall is a wonderful time to escape to Wisconsin to see all the vibrant colors, and you can get there courtesy of ChicagoRadioDeals.com. There's an overnight stay package for the Schuster Mansion Bed and Breakfast in Milwaukee. Guess what? You could spend the night in Molly's room, where you'll have a private bath. It includes breakfast in the Victorian dining room and fresh chocolate chip cookies. Yours for only $85 per couple. If you need to stay closer to home but want a night out, laugh out loud and be a part of the show at Comedy Sports Improv. Tickets $44 a pair, but find them at ChicagoRadioDeals.com for only $22. Excuse me. And be sure to get your car ready for some cruising with a deal from Fuller's Car Wash of Elk Grove Village. A full-service car wash package includes wash, vacuum, windows, and dash. Wipe down an $18 deal for $10. Fun and adventure is waiting for you only at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from HealthInsuranceMentors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Sometimes an apology and a check is all the justice that one can obtain in a world with imperfect remedies. That's not the case with the IRS. The DOJ settled 2 class action lawsuits against the IRS involving nearly 500 unique parties who shared a common complaint. They had been improperly and arguably illegally targeted by the IRS for their religious or political beliefs. Americans who had their constitutionally guaranteed first freedoms violated received an undisclosed financial settlement and a half-hearted apology. The IRS chalked it up to mismanagement rather than what it was, the most powerful non-military agency of the U.S. government attempting to silence Americans with whom those in charge disagreed on religion and politics. Asking for the contents of an organization's daily affirmations, as the IRS did, is not incompetence, it's predation. So how is it that the self-styled champions of the little guy in the D.C. press corps have left this to be one of the most egregiously underreported stories of government abuse in recent memory? Where are the Woodwards and Bernsteins who purport to serve as a check on the powerful and a vanguard of liberty? There's a legal maxim that justice delayed is justice denied. With respect to the IRS abuses, this was justice delayed, denied, and ignored.
Hi, this is Jeff from Basement Flood Protector. We have the pleasure of protecting over 25,000 of your homes with our innovative and proven line of protection solutions. Our customers enjoy peace of mind knowing their homes are safe regardless of weather conditions. They enjoy peace of mind knowing our solutions provide the early warning mechanisms required to fend off problems in advance. And they enjoy peace of mind knowing when called upon, our solutions will come to the forefront and operate as expected. Have you ever received an email or phone call from your sump pump warning you of an error or potential problem? Our customers have. Like us, our customers believe technology does not have to end at the top of the basement stairs, and they rely on our technology to protect their personal belongings that they care so deeply about. We are Basement Flood Protector. Protecting homes from flooding is all we do. I invite you to call today at 800-238-0822 or visit don'tflood.com to learn more and for no-nonsense pricing. That's 800-238-0822 or don'tflood.com. Use the call letters of this station for a 5% discount.
If you have pain, listen up, Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. mypainchicago.com.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. I want to answer some frequently asked home mortgage questions today. First, how much do I need for a down payment? There are 1% down payment programs currently running, as well as programs that will allow you to get the entire down payment as a gift. We also have programs where a family member can co-sign for the mortgage in order to help the borrower qualify. Do I need perfect credit to qualify for a loan? The answer is no. All these programs have restrictions, so please give me a call at 312-896-2110, and I'll be happy to go over them. Another question is, can I take cash out of my house to pay off high-interest credit card debt? The answer is yes, but you need to have enough equity in your house to make it happen. Why Townstone instead of the big banks? Because since 2002, we pride ourselves on beating the big banks on closing costs and interest rates every day. Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call 312-896-2110 or go to townstone.com.
Listen to the Townstone Financial Show Saturdays at 1 p.m. here on AM 560. Townstone Financial is an Indiana, Wisconsin, Illinois mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639.
5:57 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. The Edens is all clear right now. Kennedy inbound. We've got scattered slow pockets. It's about 23 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 23 as well. Heavy Lawrence to Sayre. Von Eisenhower delays are from Mannheim to Harlem. 35 minutes. Thorndale. Post Office downtown. Outbound 29. Stevenson 40 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan 23 minutes. 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford 21 minutes. 8094 to the merge. Tollways are okay. Traffic service at Staples. Staples helps your business create color presentations for less. Now get 20% back in Staples rewards on color copies, manuals, and presentations that are designed to impress. Staples, it's pro time. Offer ends 11/4/17. Exclusions apply. Go to staples.com/20color for more. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, some sun, then becoming windier and chilly, high 49. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and chilly with a low 31. Still chilly tomorrow with periods of clouds and sunshine, high 43. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 at O'Hare. The news, a service of accountants. Unplanned absences happen at every company. When payroll is due, when your payroll or accounting team is short-staffed, call on accountants. They provide accounting and finance pros on a project basis and fast. Visit accountants.com to learn more. Accountants is a Robert Half company. Here are the stories at 5:59 we're following this morning. An investigation is underway following a deadly shooting at a Halloween party in Lake Forest. Governor Rauner's re-election bid may be getting a bit more difficult as Republican State Representative Jeanne Ives yesterday officially announced her bid for governor. Pat Quinn wants to get back in the state government game. Former governor last week filed the paperwork to start a run for Illinois Attorney General. Charges are pending after a 16-year-old girl was killed in an accidental shooting on Chicago's South Side near 66th and Marquette. Bears fell to New Orleans 20-12. Blackhawks and Flyers will hit the ice Wednesday at the UC. Bulls begin a two-game trip to Florida, and the Astros beat the Dodgers for a 3-2 World Series lead. WIND Chicago News Time 6.
It's a whodunit. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but we also don't know what that who did. Days after it was reported the special counsel investigation into Russian campaign meddling has yielded its first charges. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, America's been waiting all weekend for Robert Mueller to make the first arrest in the probe. Republican Congressman Trey Gowdy told Fox News he's upset. News of the pending indictments got out on Friday.
The people charged with investigating the law and executing the law would violate the law, and make no mistake, disclosing grand jury material is a violation of the law.
Gowdy also called on his fellow Republicans to let Mueller do his job. President Trump expressed frustration over the weekend on Twitter, again calling the Russia investigation a witch hunt. Dave.
Rachel, a lawyer for the president, said his tweets were not aimed at the special counsel, saying the president continues to cooperate. 2 U.S. Navy SEALs are reportedly under investigation in the death of an Army Green Beret, Staff Sergeant Logan Melgar, found dead in Mali back in June. A military medical examiner ruled he was strangled to death.
Melgar was in the West African nation to help with training and counterterrorism missions. Superiors almost immediately suspected foul play. No one has been charged. The 2 Navy SEALs who have not been identified were flown out of Mali soon after the incident and were placed on administrative leave.
Fox's Kevin Battle, nearly a month after the Las Vegas shooting spree that left 58 people dead. Police still don't know why Stephen Paddock did it, and his brain's going to be examined.
The 64-year-old's brain is being sent to Stanford University for extensive examination after a visual inspection during an autopsy found no abnormalities. They aren't expecting to find any concrete link between Paddock's brain and a motive, but doctors will perform multiple forensic analysis, including an exam of the tissue to find any possible neurological problems.
That's Fox's Tom Graham. A nasty storm drenched the Northeast over the weekend, knocked out electricity to hundreds of thousands from Pennsylvania up to New England, taking down trees and power lines. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sean Hannity explains how Trump is getting business done.
He's not just sitting around doing nothing, and he's literally systematically just striking down one Obama policy after another and chipping away at all the damage that Obama did. And if he can't get Congress, the House and Senate to get along, then all right, well, then he's going to do everything he can do on his own.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home, safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. Choosing the right mortgage lender involves much more than just a rate. Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. No one else has anything like it. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
Build business with Chamber 630, one of the largest business organizations in DuPage County. Marketing your business and connecting clients is their priority. Visit chamber630.com or call 630-968-4050 to join today.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So a fascinating piece in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend, Amy.
Yes.
Let me talk to you about motherhood.
Oh, is this? Are we having that discussion?
Let me tell
is this Prof's parenting tips?
Let me tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a mom.
I was about to play a drop from a movie, but I don't know. I mean, is this too soon?
Huh? Why do you say you feel trapped in a man's body?
Well, sometimes I get the menstrual cramps real hard.
Is that from Raising Arizona? That's a great movie.
It is.
Coen Brothers.
What were you saying about
That was when Nick
being a
Cage could
mother?
still act.
Yeah,
Remember that? That was a long time ago.
Before he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So Erica Komisar is a Jewish psychoanalyst who lives and practices on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. She writes a piece in the Wall Street Journal. Well, did an interview in the Wall Street Journal of sorts. The politicization of motherhood. Because she has written a book that, despite her leanings as a political liberal, the book reinforces some things that conservatives believe about the family. And so she's actually being well received by center-right media outlets and completely ignored by the D.C. press corps and all of the big government left media outlets, including those phony baloney morning shows that pretend to be neutral like GMA, which of course are not, to wit, they have Clinton Foundation donor 0 as one of their hosts, so that should be a leading indicator. The book is Being There, Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters. And here's the gist of it. And again, this is backed by research. I haven't read it yet. We're going to have her on the show later in the week. But backed by research in psychology, neuroscience, and epigenetics. Mothers are biologically necessary for babies. Okay. I think we can all start from there and agree with that premise.
Agree, yes.
Yeah. But it's more connected than that. Babies are much more neurologically fragile than we ever understood, reports Ms. Commissar. Babies are born without a central nervous system. This is kind of referencing another academic. Mothers are the central nervous system to babies, especially for the first 9 months after birth, but really the first 3 years. Every time a mother comforts a baby in distress, she's actually regulating the baby's emotions from the outside in. After 3 years, the baby internalizes that ability to regulate their emotions, but not until then. For that reason, mothers need to be there as much as possible, both physically and emotionally, for children in the first 1,000 days. The regulatory mechanism, if you want to get technical, is oxytocin, which is the love hormone. It's a buffer against stress. Mothers produce it when they give birth, breastfeed, otherwise nurture their children. The more oxytocin the mother produces, the more she produces it in the baby by communicating, being eye contact, touch, gentle talk. The baby's brain.
Want to have another baby.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it's this process. This is important to set this up because then it gets into all kinds of cultural discussions. But this is the science of it. The baby's brain, in turn, develops oxytocin receptors, which allow for self-regulation at a later age. Women produce more oxytocin than men do.
Well, I should hope so.
Which answers the obvious question of why fathers aren't as well suited as mothers for this sort of sensitive, empathetic nurturing. Although I do understand from Meet the Parents that anything with a teat can breastfeed. So that's worth noting.
Can I milk it?
Yeah, so
the teat of a cat.
Miss Commissar said as she started to put the pieces together, she found the absence of mothers in children's lives on a daily basis is one of the triggers for mental disorders. She talked about youngsters being diagnosed with social disorders, ADHD, difficulty relating to other children, difficulty with empathy, increase in aggression, particularly in little boys, increase in depression in little girls. And a lot of this she connects back to those first 1,000 days of life and the mother's presence there. She also adds that this informs changing attitudes about the kind of two-income households. A lot of young men, particularly millennials, have been raised to believe that it's even Steven, that women are to bring in as much money and they're always going to work. Young women make promises to their partners, these young men. I'm going to work forever. I'm going to make as much money as you. Maybe I'll make more. It's almost like a testosterone kind of competition. And she says, regrettably, the children get lost in all of this. So she has been literary agents. Her literary agent is getting rejected from GMA, from NPR. But Fox and Friends is welcoming her on the show and other outlets. So it's just very interesting. Yeah.
Well, with that information, I mean, they should extend our maternity leave then to 1,000 days instead of just the 60 that we get.
Well, it's interesting you say that because she says exactly that. This is a liberal solution that I don't support, but this is where she goes. So let's give the complete picture. She talks about the need to be a child-centric society. Women can make different choices, fine, but be child-centric if you are going to have children, and she calls for a government mandate that employers provide more generous maternity benefits.
Well, my cousin in Sweden, she gets a year off. She has 2 kids. She has a 1-year-old. She got that entire year off paid, and now her husband gets 3 months off.
Yes, but
so
now
she's done with the first year, and then he's now on maternity leave.
But now here's the paternity, because he's a man. I think.
No, he is a man.
Yeah, but her research points out something else.
What?
Paternity leave is a fraud.
What? Well, in this country, because
No. I'm talking about the science.
Oh.
What's Dad gonna do? Right? I mean, the first 1,000 days.
He can emotionally bond with the baby.
Yeah, he can help mom out around the house. I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the idea that there's not something fundamentally different between the woman staying home to care for the child or the dad staying home to care for the child while the woman works, particularly in the first 1,000 days. Ms. Commissar, liberal psychoanalyst from New York, is saying that's not right. That's not right if you're interested, if you're being child-centered. She actually says, listen to this, the thing I dislike most is daycare. It's really not appropriate for children under the age of 3 because it's overstimulating given their neurological underdevelopment. And she refers to an experiment where goes back 40 years and then it's been updated. But basically, there's a separation anxiety when mom drops off baby, and then a stranger enters, and then a stranger enters the room. That it actually can be damaging to the psyche and the behavior of the child.
Oh, something else for us moms to feel guilty about.
Well, it's funny you say that because
just pile it on. I mean, what do we do right? We're
Because
constantly criticized. We constantly have this internal guilt.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's what a lot of people that her agent shopped the book to said. We couldn't touch that. It would make women feel guilty. And Commissar says, guilt isn't necessarily bad. My best patient is a patient who comes to me feeling guilty. She says, women who feel guilty, it's a signal feeling that something's wrong, that they're in conflict. If they go to talk to a therapist or deal with the conflict head on, they often make different choices and better choices, adding that mothering is not about perfection. It's just about pursuing best choices based on what we know to be true. And what Commissar's book is saying is that what we know to be true is different than what we now, per her research, is a little bit different than what we thought to be true. Particularly, again, first 1,000 days, children under 3. But what about that? What about that?
Well, I think that a lot of people outsource motherhood. Just so that they could both, have a mom and a dad who work so they can live in their mansions. And they're sacrificing time with their kids. I mean, I believe in that research, but you do the best you can.
Well, I understand. Yeah.
The time that you have with them, it has got to be focused on them. So on the weekends, I see, a lot of people are, like you would cram for tests. I feel like a lot of my neighbors are cramming their parenting in.
Yeah.
They're just trying to, and the kids don't relate to mom because the kid relates to the nanny better. Because they're more connected, because they spend more quality time together. So it's a moral conundrum. I mean,
well,
it's hard.
Here's the other thing too, and this is why I like the title of this interview in the Wall Street Journal of Ms. Commissar, the politicization of motherhood, because listen to the responses she's getting. This would make women feel guilty, so we can't touch it. We're not going to have you on this show. We're not going to have you on this program. Why? Because it's politics. We don't want this to be true, so we're going to ignore it. It doesn't fit with our notion of what the 21st century Western world looks like, so we're going to ignore it, to the detriment of children, if you believe Ms. Commissar's scientific research in the area. And so, like anything else, what does politicization of something do? It grows state power. And so this is where Ms. Commissar gets a little bit off track with, getting outside of her expertise and talking about public policy with mandates and so forth. Mm-hmm. Government grows when something gets politicized, and then government intercedes. And so if your motherhood is being politicized, what does that mean? It means the government is growing and it's interceding, it's intervening between mom and child. I mean, that's really the point of government, is to separate children from their parents. The point of government, I should say, the danger of government. The danger of government, not necessarily the point of government, but that's where it goes when it grows. And when you politicize, it grows. Connecting dots, the same way that Ms. Commissar did with her research on children's psyche. But the idea of a liberal psychoanalyst from New York saying the thing I dislike most is daycare. Now, again, limited. She's talking about those first 3 years of life. But the thing I like least is daycare. I mean, that's going to send...
That's chills down everybody's spine.
Well, right. But you have to argue the science, and you have to, I guess, address the question: am I doing what's
we're told daycare
best for me, or what's best for the kid?
But when we're starting out, our pediatricians will say, "Oh, it's good to have them socialize at an early age, and the earlier you start, the better." So that's part of socialization.
But socialization with mom present.
No, socialization that with other kids and mom not present.
Well, if in the first 3 years of age, I guess this is where Ms. Commissar is running into the sacred cows, because she's saying No.
Well, she couldn't go on GMA or any of those because they're all working moms. Who's going to sit down and interview her? The men, Matt Lauer, George Stephanopoulos.
Why
The women aren't going to want to interview her.
Why couldn't a man interview her? And why couldn't the women not? I mean, there are women on all these stations.
Right,
what are you
but they're
talking
working
about?
moms who drop their kids off at daycare at an early age.
So they can't hear.
No,
they can't
that's why
hear.
they're turning her away.
Right.
This is the story I've been trying to do when I was a reporter. I always try to do this. Following your trash. Where does your garbage go? I tried it in Tucson, El Paso, and I was always told the same thing. Nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to see that. It's a turnoff. It'll be a ratings killer because nobody wants to know.
So
about the overcrowded landfills in different municipalities, and nobody wants to know. So they just say you can't do the story.
Well, I mean that's an issue, but child rearing I would rank a little bit higher
than garbage. No,
I mean, that's me.
But I'm saying it's the same premise that it's.
They turn a blind eye to things that don't fit their narrative.
Right.
They're not reporters, and they're not doing reporting. They're doing narrative pushing.
Yeah, well, and they're also trying to generate revenue, and if it's a ratings killer, you can't do it.
So you don't think moms would be interested in this knowledge?
No, I think they would be, but
right. So it's probably not a ratings killer. It just doesn't fit with their worldview. And so they don't have the intellectual curiosity and maybe capacity, maybe, maturity to take in information that may not comport with what they think to be true, just based on what? I mean, none of these people are psychoanalysts or research scientists, obviously. It's just what they've heard, what they've been repeated, the leftist line on all of these topics. It says something about the quality of information that you get on these programs, that they're willing to freeze out scientific research by someone who's otherwise a fellow traveler, but actually just did go where the science led and is drawing these conclusions for a more wide-ranging discussion in the interest of being more child-centric in society. And that's something that should be frozen out. I mean,
I would love to
we
hear.
talk to people of the left on topics of social policy and civil society all the time. Why can't they do it?
I would love to hear her take on same-sex couples having kids.
Yeah. Well,
I know 4 same-sex male couples who have adopted children or had hired a surrogate mother to birth their children.
Right. Because what we've done is separate children from their natural right to mom and dad. And that turns out to be a big problem.
It's daddy-father.
That turns out to be a big problem.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Forecast for today, it is 40 degrees right now at O'Hare, going up to a high of 46 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. And tomorrow, partly sunny, cooler, a high only of 40. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan in Barrington. Got a problem at 14 and Lake Zurich Road. Malfunctioning rail crossings there. So expect congestion. Eden's inbound heavy starting at Niles Center Road. 23 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose. Outbound 20. Kennedy, 26 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 32. And it's slow on westbound 190 from the Kennedy to the Tri-State. Eisenhower's 40 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. There's a new road work configuration right at the circle, so that may cause some delays in that area. Outbound 30 minutes out to Thorndale. Stevenson, 47 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 35. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop 422. Eastbound Adams Tollway has a jam. Tri-State to the Kennedy. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Do the live read with an apple in your mouth. Let's see how it sounds.
Oh. Where's William Tell when you need him?
Okay, try it.
Attention, Chicago. Don't miss the one-day-only land at the lake sale on Saturday, November 11th, where you can get 5 acres with lake access for only $24,900. This spectacular lakeside community was purchased out of foreclosure, and all home sites will be sold off at a fraction of their original price. Take advantage of huge savings during the one-day-only sale and get 5 acres with lake access, only $24,900, or 5 acres and a new log cabin for only $79,900. Enjoy beach and marina access to a 160,000-acre recreational lake, all just an easy drive from Nashville, Tennessee. For earliest appointment, call 888-GET-LAND or visit the website www.888getland.com. Excellent financing is available, so call 888-GET-LAND.com or visit call 888-GET-LAND or visit 888getland.com. Cabin is 1,200 square feet to be built right in, weather-tight, Lakeview Realty Broker.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I started out vomiting with migraines at the age of 19, and about 10 years later, it got to the point where it was almost every day. This stuck with me for about another 20 years. When I was introduced to this balance of nature, I couldn't believe how quickly the triggers that would cause these migraines just went away.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
How can you get a better grasp on what your portfolio looks like for retirement? Tabota & Associates just might have the technology to help you answer that question. Jack Tabota and the team at Tabota & Associates builds retirement plans custom fit for you using a variety of insurance and investment products. At Tabota & Associates, no two retirement plans are the same, and they can use a tool called Riskalyze to show what your risk tolerance number is. Once you have it, you'll have a better understanding of how much risk you can take on and if your current portfolio is exposing you to potential losses that you cannot afford. Why not let the team at Tabota & Associates do the heavy lifting for you? 630-777-7955. That's 630-777-7955. Take some of the guesswork out of planning and Riskalyze your retirement portfolio today. Tabota & Associates, 630-777-7955. Investments involve risk, including the potential loss of principal invested. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we're talking about the politicization of motherhood. Let's take a quick call. Andy in Hinsdale, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. This issue, it's not about, and I'm not saying that you are, it's not about condemning people who have to both work or, but it's about making people aware that there could be detriments to their choices. The optimal situation is a mother staying home and a father working. Not everybody can do that, but people shouldn't fool themselves into thinking, we're both going to work and our nanny loves our children, loves them just like we love them. Tell the nanny that, we're not going to pay you anymore. We can't pay you. Does she break down in tears or does she say, well, I'm going to have to go get another job? That's the test of whether a child care professional loves your kid as much as you do.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Andy.
I believe our Olga, who we had for 13 years, breaking up with her was probably, I could cry. It was the hardest thing.
Breaking up's hard to do.
Ever no, because she loves my kids and my kids love her.
No, I understand, but
and she cried when we, all said goodbye, and she's.
Andy's point though is a salient one. It's just say, look, if you knew what the impacts were on the first 3 years of life, if you had all of the research that Ms. Commissar is bringing forward, then maybe you could figure out a way to make a different choice. And if you can't, you can't. But just understand the implications. It's Andy saying. So this is like about more information about how children develop that could inform the choices people make. So why is that a bad thing? It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, but it's a hard decision. And people, mothers go through it every day. Do I give up my career for motherhood? Or do I do what most American working women are doing and go back to work and send my kids to daycare?
Yeah.
It stinks. You've got to make that decision. What have you decided? Because after you marry yourself, I'm sure you're going to have kids, right?
We haven't decided. We haven't decided if we're going to have children. We're talking about it.
Thinking about it?
Switching gears, another issue with the genders, this one less redeeming than child rearing. Certainly it's the predatory nature of some individuals, men versus women mostly. We're talking about sexual harassment, of course. How about this? story in the New York Times over the weekend. Rose McGowan, one of the first human stain accusers, who has accused him of rape, also.
She turned down a settlement offer.
She turned down hush money of $1 million in exchange for signing a non-disclosure agreement. That was the deal. She did say, though, in 1987 she reached a $100,000 settlement with Weinstein, but that agreement, she learned this summer, didn't include a confidentiality clause.
Oh,
okay.
So that's why. And she made her first public appearance on Saturday.
I've been harassed. I've been maligned. And you know what? I'm just like you. Name it, shame it, call it out.
Yeah, and she was encouraging people, all these women are coming forward, but name it and shame it.
She's just not like you, though, because you wouldn't have dated Marilyn Manson. So that's what separates Rose McGowan from some others. No, but I joke. But, her point is valid, and she's, to her credit, gone after Hollywood stars who've and designed like Donna Karan, who were running interference for Harvey Weinstein all this time. Lisa Bloom, Donna Karan, others. Also, did you see this? Neil deGrasse Tyson, the noted physicist.
Yeah.
He's like the celebrity physicist. He's been accused of raping a former student. Ooh. The accuser is a woman named Chia Amet. She's a musician who said she studied at Galactic Astronomy, astrophysicist, right, Neil deGrasse Tyson, in the graduate program at the University of Texas at Austin. She wanted to become the first black female astronaut. He offered me a glass of water. I accepted a liquid in a cup made out of a coconut shell. I recall coming back to consciousness briefly. Then the next thing I remember is seeing him in the hallway the next day. I have lived in this nightmare for 30 years.
Wow.
And it stops today. She basically said that she had kind of undiagnosed PTSD as a result of the alleged assault for more than 2 decades. There's also been other individuals who have accused Neil deGrasse Tyson of similar predatory behavior. So
what's going to happen to him?
Well, there's nobody's responded, and there's no kind of prove up yet, but there is a call out. And then just this other issue.
Oh.
This is great.
The Kevin Spacey?
No,
we should get to that.
Before we get to Spacey, Congress. You have all these politicians preening on the topic.
Yeah, the hashtag Me Too. Now it's gone to Capitol Hill because they want to have training, sexual harassment training for lawmakers, their staff members, and for lobbyists, similar to what they want to do in Springfield.
Yeah, right, because training's required. Don't unwantedly touch people.
Or don't
end of training.
Or don't make lewd comments like comments that were directed to Claire McCaskill.
He said, well, did you bring your knee pads? I do think he was joking, but it was shocking that he would make that joke to a colleague.
Yeah, and Pocahontas also shared her alleged story, which is in dispute, by the way, of being chased around a desk by some academic colleague of hers. But anyway, how Congress handles this? Well, all these politicians are preening and they're rushing to aid victims in these matters. Congress makes it, this is the Washington Post reporting, Amazon Post. Congress makes its own rules about the handling of sexual complaints against members and staff, passing laws exempting it from practice that apply to other employers. Of course they do. Welcome to your ruling class, Americans. The result is a culture in which some lawmakers suspect harassment is rampant, yet victims are unlikely to come forward. Since 1995, accusers may file lawsuits only if they first agree to go through months of counseling and mediation. A special congressional office is charged with trying to resolve the cases out of court. When settlements do occur, members don't pay from their own office funds, a requirement in other federal agencies. Instead, the confidential payments come out of a special U.S. Treasury fund. There's a special U.S. Treasury fund for predatory members of Congress who reach settlements with respect to their illicit conduct. How about that? Congressional employees have received small settlements compared with the amount some public figures pay out. Bill O'Reilly. Between 1997 and 2014, the U.S. Treasury has paid out $15.2 million in 235 awards and settlements for Capitol Hill workplace violations, according to the Congressional Office of Compliance. But how about that? Special rules for Congress, members of Congress. Keep that in mind when you hear your members of Congress, heaping moral scorn and getting on their high horses and high-hatting other people to show how much they care, well, they exempt themselves from the accountability that is rightly visited on those not in Congress.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll hear from Trey Gowdy and Chris Christie about the pending indictment that may be announced today on Public Official Indictment Monday.
And later, he says it's a civic duty. Former President Barack Obama returns to Chicago, summoned for jury duty, should he serve. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Federal authorities could begin arresting people today. The special counsel investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. Police in Nashville are investigating a brawl between an interracial couple and a group supporting White Lives Matter protests. Witnesses say about 30 men and women came into a restaurant and sat near a white woman and her African-American boyfriend on Saturday. And the Afghan Taliban says an American hostage is critically ill and needs urgent medical attention. Taliban spokesperson saying Kevin King is suffering from dangerous heart and kidney conditions. King is one of 2 American university professors taken at gunpoint in Kabul last year. A South Carolina Republican says Democrats aren't helping in the GOP investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 election.
Russia's not our friend. WikiLeaks is not our friend. Julian Assange is not our friend. They tried to attack the fundamentals of our democracy, and that's what I've spent 2017 focusing on.
House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy on Fox News Sunday. President Trump heading out on an Asia trip later this week. The 11-day trek will take Trump to Japan, South Korea, China, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Governor Rauner's re-election bid may be getting a bit more difficult as Republican State Representative Jeanne Ives yesterday officially announced her bid for governor. Charges are pending after a 16-year-old girl was killed in an accidental shooting on Chicago's South Side near 66th and Marquette. And high carbon monoxide levels at a church on Chicago's West Side send 10 to the hospital. Saints beat the Bears 20-12. Blackhawks and Flyers will hit the ice Wednesday at the UC. World Series last night, Astros blast by the Dodgers in 10, 13-12. The news, a service of Accountants. Unplanned absences happen at every company, even when payroll is due. When your payroll or accounting team is short-staffed, call Accountants. They provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis. Accountemps.com. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 6:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
Message and data rates may apply.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit with all the details. That's SAVE to 33123. Again, text SAVE to 33123.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
It is 6:36, and let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound. It's heavy starting at Niles Center. 23 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Kennedy, 33 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 37. It's heavy on westbound 190 from the Kennedy to the Tri-State. Don Eisenhower delays are from Manheim to Harlem and Ashland to the Burns Circle, where there's a new lane configuration after weekend work. 42 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 32. Don Stevenson, 50 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 41. With a crash at the Tri-State in the right lane. Ryan, 22 minutes. 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Adams Tollway a little tight approaching the Kennedy. The other tollways are good. Traffic, service of Liberty Mutual Insurance. From weather to traffic and everything in between, you have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Bit of sun today, windy and chilly, high of 49. Currently, we have 41. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. on AM 560. Explore the wonderful world of wine with host James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Public Corruption Indictment Day, or as we call it in Illinois, Monday. And
unsealed indictments. I love it.
Yeah, so we'll see
whose name's on the card,
if and when and for what somebody gets taken into custody, and that's where the investigation goes. But one thing over the weekend that broke that we should address is this whole matter of the Clinton camp trying to muddy the waters on the dossier and who financed it by the reveal that the Washington Free Beacon.
Yeah, that they were the first to hire the firm behind the Steele dossier.
Right. They hired Fusion GPS to do op research on Trump and other candidates, they said.
Yeah,
Matthew Continetti, their editor, said. But it had nothing to do with Christopher Steele. It had nothing to do with Russian information sources or anything related to colluding with Kremlin-connected individuals. And so it was separate and distinct from the Clinton campaign's later hiring of Fusion GPS to put together the dossier that they put together. The other thing that's interesting in what they're saying, the Clinton camp, their spin, as they're in full damage control,
right,
is that, it's not who financed the dossier, I should say. You know what's important. Well, listen to Karen Finney on This Week with Clinton Foundation Donor Zero on what's important. Karen Finney, former Hill Dog campaign spokesperson.
Again, that dossier came from an American company that had originally been funded by Republicans, as you had mentioned earlier. I think what's important, though, is less who funded it and what was in the dossier.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
There it is. Don't pay attention to who funded it. I'm going to conflate the issues between what the Washington Free Beacon funded and what was orchestrated by the Clinton campaign, the DNC. And then, anyway, none of that matters. It's what's in it.
Well, what's in it were some falsities.
Well, right. She goes on to suggest that there are things in there that have been verified. That is very much in dispute, what is and is not verified. In point of fact, former FBI Director Jim Comey, this is Byron York reporting in the Examiner, has dismissively described the dossier as, quote, salacious and unverified. But just when you hear the Clinton spin, it doesn't matter who paid for it now that we've been forced to admit that we pay for it. And all that matters is what's in it. Well, and then there are things that in it that have been verified. Well, no. There may be things in it that could be verified. There may be things in it that turn out to be true. But the reason they can't point to specifics is because nothing has been specifically verified. There's been no corroboration. So they got a problem. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 646-36DA, turnkey.pro text line. Who would you like to see indicted today?
Yeah.
That's always a fun question. Now, keep it within the bounds of these investigations and credulity, if you will.
Oh, I love credulity.
64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. You want
I want
a nice white wine sauce goes well with credulity. Yeah.
I keep thinking I don't think it's Paul Manafort. I really don't, because his attorney came out over the weekend and said that, we're confident we'll see what happens, but it's not leaning in that direction. I think General Mike Flynn is the one that's going to go down today, or that's going to be arrested when the sun rises. As CNN says it. But there's reporters in front of Manafort's place, General Kelly's, General Flynn's, and all over. They're waiting to see who the FBI knocks on their door in the morning.
Who's got the Chappaqua beat for Hillary's house? Because there are people that are really interested in Uranium One, like the House Oversight Chairman Trey Gowdy was on with Wallace over the weekend. He said this about that aspect of the investigation.
We've spent most of 2017 trying to better understand what Russia did to this country in 2016. Not to the Democrats, not to the Republicans, but to this country. So what we know is that Russia was not our friend in 2016. It's not that big of a leap to ask, I wonder if they were our friends in 2010. That's not that big of a leap. It wasn't Republicans who gave the reset button to Russia. It wasn't Republicans who said we'll have more flexibility in a second term. It was a Republican named Mitt Romney who said Russia was our greatest threat, and the Democrats laughed at him. So, yes, I do want to know if the same group that tried to sabotage our democracy in 2016 is buying uranium in 2010. Yeah, I want to know that.
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable position to take by Trey Gowdy. I mean, that's $100 million of the Clinton Foundation in connected donations to this deal. There was already a settlement with Justice for one of the interested parties in that deal a couple of years ago. That seems to me a much bigger deal with national security and geopolitical implications than perhaps Paul Manafort's unethical or perhaps illegal foreign business practices. We'll see. We'll see.
What do you think? What's your gut tell you? Because when I heard about this on Friday, I thought, oh, Kelly.
I think it's going to be Manafort.
Or Flynn, I'm sorry. You think it's Manafort?
Yeah, I think they've got these. There have been reports. BuzzFeed reported over the weekend the wire transfers, 13 of them that are the focus of the investigation into Manafort. They've got a lot of detail. It's already been telegraphed that a couple of weeks ago that Manafort was a target. Tracking, putting together the financial. I mean, they raided his house, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
That's kind of an important.
5 in the morning.
Yeah, so that's a material point to remember if you're doing prognostication. The other thing too is, it's just easier to put together the necessary evidence if he violated the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act or other federal law. It's just easier to put together the records and the evidence to make the case. So much of this other stuff is shrouded in politics. Mike,
then everybody's going to be watching President Trump's reaction.
Mike on the north side.
Good morning, kids. Thanks for taking my call. First, before I get to my wish list of people to be indicted, I wanted to say congratulations to St. Edward's School on being one of the 50 blue ribbon schools. The only thing better than listening to the bishop tell the local Democrats to set a good example was when they opened up the missalette and they saw the congratulatory letter from Betsy DeVos, who I think is making a much better Secretary of Education than Arnie Jumpshot Duncan
Yeah, he wasn't really a jump shooter. He was more of a rebounder for the president, but okay.
Rebounder, okay, blocker. Okay, congratulations, St. Edwards. The people I'd like to see get indicted are the people that benefited financially, not people who had conversations. You could start with that whole Clinton criminal family, Chelsea too, you know, Bill, Hillary, and how about the Podesta brothers?
Yeah, the Podesta
They
brothers
had a lot of
are.
business dealings.
The-
And
well-
let's go after these lawyers with all these their fingers and everything, like Jamie Gorelick and Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Debbie's been pretty quiet.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. Yeah, the Podesta brothers involved in that Uranium One deal too. Greg in Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan, I heard, this is unconfirmed, of course, but the reports that Manafort's only supposedly blown about $3 million in transactions to islands from Russia. So if that's the case, and if he were to be convicted, what's $145 million going to bring?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Thanks for the call, Greg.
Well-
Yeah, I mean, comparing and contrasting if that's the standard. But again, you know,
well,
they're much further. You have no idea. I have no idea. But it seems to be they're much further along based on where they started. And where they started, Trump and Associates. So you have to believe that it would be a Trump associate who is the first to be picked off. And that will set the D.C. press corps ablaze.
Yeah,
and
but President Trump could pardon them too later on.
They're going to do that. Later on, but
right.
I mean, in terms of the immediacy, that's going to set the D.C. press corps ablaze. They'll be able to shift away from these uncomfortable stories about Camp Clinton, about the Obama Justice Department, about the Dossier. They're doing their best damage control now by pretending that the Washington Free Beacon was just as involved and did the same thing that the Clinton campaign did, and that's not true.
Donald Trump tweeted 9 minutes ago, report out that Obama campaign paid $972,000 to Fusion GPS.
Yeah,
the
that's
firm
right.
also got $12.4 million. Really? He put with a question mark from DNC, but nobody knows who okayed it.
Right. I mean,
Exclamation point.
Yeah, the Obama for America. Since April of 2016, Obama for America paid over $972,000 to Perkins Coie, which is where Mark Elias, the Clinton campaign attorney who orchestrated the Fusion GPS funding from the campaign and from the DNC to put together the dossier. That's where he's at. Trey Gowdy addressed that with Wallace too. The $12 million. That's not saying the $12 million was all for the dossier or the $972,000. I mean, there's a lot of legal needs for campaigns and stuff. But it's a more important point than Gowdy gets to it, which is, were they using the law firm to avoid campaign disclosure? That's the real question. And he explains it.
Well, I'm not an election law expert, Chris, but the good news is you don't have to be to understand the absurdity of believing that you can launder all of your campaign money by just hiring a law firm. I mean, imagine if you and I were running for Congress and we just hired a law firm and said, hey, you go do all the oppo, you go buy all the television, you go buy all the bumper stickers, you go hire all the experts, and we're going to launder all of this through a law firm. I can't think of anything that defeats the purpose of transparency laws more than that. So I am interested in that, and I am also interested in sharing some memory tricks with folks at the DNC, because no one can remember who paid $10 million to a law firm to do oppo research. I find that stunning. $10 million, and no one can remember who authorized it, who approved it, who said, yeah, this is a really good idea. So you got two issues, a memory issue and then the lack of transparency by laundering money through a law firm.
Well, and the additional point and why some memories may be failing is because if you commit an FEC violation, willfully commit an FEC violation, there are criminal penalties that attach. And so you can understand why some people may want to be avoiding responsibility for Perkins Coie, for how things were financed, for what was and wasn't disclosed, because you have criminal exposure potentially. Let's go to Mill in Chicago.
Hi, Dan. Good morning, Amy. I think it should be Eric Holder that should be indicted. He is incredible in terms of what he did or what he didn't do. More specifically, he never put any Wall Street executive in jail following the financial calamity. And his law firm that he left to become Attorney General left his office open, vacant, until he returned after he left the White House. So I would say Eric Holder.
All right, thanks for the call, Mel. Matt in Lake Geneva.
Hey, good morning. I think it's too early for Hillary Clinton, but nothing would make me happier than if Hillary Clinton was eventually arrested for the uranium gate. I think that's going to come down eventually, but I think Paul Manafort will be the man possibly this week.
All right, thanks, Matt.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Amazon profits rising dramatically, and so is its stock. And FAO Schwartz getting a new lease on life this week. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours. And they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. Amazon's impact on brick-and-mortar retailers is well known. Layoffs, store closings, upended business models, all part of the norm. But now the online giant is affecting healthcare companies as well, after reports that Amazon is receiving state licenses allowing it to do business as a prescription drug wholesaler. Shares of Walgreens, CVS Health, and other healthcare-related businesses have fallen, and they're blaming Amazon. Toy company FAO Schwartz, whose iconic New York City store shut down 2 years ago, returns just in time for the Christmas season. The toy company will roll out almost 190 new specialty toy shops inside Bon-Ton, Carson's, and other department stores across the nation. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on this show. We got long-form interviews in our Against the Current series with opinion leaders and policymakers. Also, a special Halloween edition of Follow the Logic.
Wow.
On the streets, talking to parents about costumes for their kids.
Oh.
Turns out everyday Americans not quite as identity politics obsessed as the D.C. press corps and the cultural elite. So it's very interesting to watch that. Not as many cultural Marxists out there as you would think in Chicago, which, because we did at Lincoln Park Zoo. So it's a hopeful note. 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from yours truly. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes, Illinois Opportunity Project. Heart of the Matter, that's our series featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day. Podcast of our Illinois Rising program, which airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. And then our sister site, defendhomeowners.com. Defendhomeowners.com. Free property tax report on your home, as well as a petition you can download to help us get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot that would ask if people want to have the Indiana property tax system imposed in Illinois, which would reduce your property taxes overnight by half to 2/3. DefendHomeowners.com and Upstream-ideas.com.
When you purchase an alarm system, you do it for one reason above all others. You need to know something about the people or property under your care. Knowing that what matters most will be looked after by professionals when you can't be there is a comforting feeling. At Alarm Detection Systems, we've learned a great deal from our decades of service. We know how to treat customers on the phone. We know that installing quality security products using certified technicians is the only way to go. We know that same-day service and local monitoring will provide the safety and peace of mind you're looking for. You no longer have to wonder if your home or business is protected by your alarm system. Know that it is. At home or on the go, the information you seek is right in your hands. It's good to be in the know. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's 630-844-6300 or online at adsalarm.com. Alarm license number 127000143.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
They really have made a difference. I mean, when I started taking them, I could not tie my shoes because of the knee pain. I have arthritis in it. And I actually bent down and tied my shoes by mistake. I was so used to not being able to do it. I couldn't believe I did it. And that was shortly after starting the Balanced Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Obama got summoned for jury duty.
Yeah, he sure did. Cook County Chief Judge Timothy Evans let everyone know that Obama's coming here sometime in November. He wouldn't mention what courthouse he'll be assigned to, but he's going to be on jury duty. And I heard people at the Jewels in South Park
Doesn't mean he'll be selected.
talking about and saying, I would give anything to be on that jury with President Obama. It would be history making. But remember when Oprah Winfrey did that, and then she had all her new friends on her show? Well, the defense attorney tried to get that conviction overthrown because the focus was never on his client. It was always like, oh, look at Oprah and what's her reaction, what she's wearing in the jury.
He's getting summoned for jury duty.
Yeah.
On the same day we're expecting an indictment. Maybe that's a ruse to take him into custody. Okay.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The testimony of Frank Stevens. How would you feel if you went before a congressional subcommittee to justify your existence? That's what Frank Stevens did at 7:07.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott. And let's welcome him back after a few days off. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Amy and Dan, good morning. A man shot and killed at a Lake Forest party. High CO2 levels at a Chicago church send 10 to the hospital. And Jeanne Ives announces a bid for governor. Bears fall to the Saints, Bulls and Blackhawks off until Wednesday. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
We're still waiting. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, to find out
Who is the first person reportedly charged in the special counsel's probe into Russian campaign meddling?
People are just speculating now. We don't know what's going to happen.
Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway.
But the president's also made very clear as recently as this weekend that he considers this a hoax.
We do know several targets of the investigation so far. The two names we've heard the most about are former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney. Bo Bergdahl's sentencing hearing resumes this morning after the Army sergeant pleaded guilty to deserting his post in Afghanistan. The wife of a soldier so badly injured searching for Bergdahl, he cannot walk or talk, will testify. Bergdahl was held by the Taliban for 5 years until a prisoner swap. Another American the Taliban's holding hostage is in bad shape. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, the Afghan Taliban saying Kevin King is seriously ill and in need of urgent medical attention, the kind it can't provide. King is a professor at the American University of Afghanistan. He and a colleague were kidnapped at gunpoint in the capital, Kabul, last year. The Taliban saying he has heart disease and kidney problems and often loses consciousness. It's thought the group wants President Trump to agree to a prisoner exchange. Dave?
Simon, Puerto Rico is going to cancel the deal with a U.S. company to rebuild its power infrastructure once Whitefish is done with Hurricane Maria recovery. Amid scrutiny into the small Montana company located in U.S. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke's hometown, but Whitefish CEO Andy Tekmansky tells NBC
there's people out there on a witch hunt looking for something that does not exist.
A slugfest at the World Series. The Astros beat the Dodgers 13-12 in 10 innings. A back-and-forth game. Both teams blew 4-run leads.
It was back and forth, nonstop. I mean, it was unbelievable, man. The best game ever for sure.
Houston's Carlos Correa hit one of 7 homers in the game. The Astros and Dodgers have hit a combined 22. World Series record. Houston can win the championship tomorrow night. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Skies in Chicago remain cloudy. We have 40 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. An investigation is underway following a deadly shooting at a Halloween party in Lake Forest. Authorities say Shaft Wilson Jr. was found shot to death early yesterday outside of a home on West Estate Lane. Meantime, a Waukegan woman suffered minor injuries after she was trampled by partygoers running from the scene. Governor Rauner's re-election bid may get a bit more difficult as Republican State Representative Jeanne Ives officially makes a bid for governor. Ives says conservative and Republican voters in Illinois can no longer trust Governor Rauner. Pat Quinn wants to get back into the government game. Former governor last week filed paperwork to start a run for attorney general. High carbon monoxide levels at a church on Chicago's west side to blame for sending 10 to the hospital. The 7 children and 3 adults fell ill yesterday at Bethel Apostolic Church on West Jackson. Saints beat the Bears 20-12 for their 5th straight win. Blackhawks and Flyers do not hit the ice until Wednesday, while the Bulls begin a 2-game trip to Florida Wednesday night. Astros beat the Dodgers 13-12 in 10 innings. They lead the World Series 3-2. The news, a service of Staples. Staples helps your business create color presentations for less. Now get 20% back in Staples rewards on color copies, manuals, and presentations that are designed to impress. Staples, it's pro time. Offer ends 11/4/17. Exclusions apply. Go to staples.com/20color for more. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
For the very best in promotional products for your business.
For the latest promotional trends.
For attracting customers to your logo like a magnet.
For on-time delivery of high-quality items with your logo.
For personal service.
4imprint, the nation's leading team to unleash your logo on your choice of thousands of promotional items. And right now, you can get a coupon for 10% off your next promotional order at 4imprint by texting the word PRO to 88988.
For empowering your logo at your next trade show.
For making a lasting impression.
For rewarding employees.
For free art assistance.
For making your logo shine.
The experts at 4imprint are ready to help.
For thousands of promotional items.
For popular brands.
For exclusive items.
For your 100% satisfaction.
4imprint.
For a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order, text PRO to 88988. That's a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order by texting PRO to 88988.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT, home, safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
7:06, and a check of the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound heavy starting around Pratt. 28 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24. Kennedy now 42 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose, 16 in the Express. Outbound 20 minutes to Montrose and 45 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower delays are from Manheim to Harlem, Central to Sacramento, and Ashland to the Circle. There's a new roadwork configuration. 50 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 46. Inbound Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 41 from the Tri-State, outbound 56 minutes to 355. There's a crash at the Tri-State in the right lane. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown, I-57, 21 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford, 45. Stall at the Steel Bridge, blocking the right lane. Traffic is heavy on the Tri-State northbound from 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis, from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, northbound Veterans Memorial, so 63rd to the Reagan Tollway at Butterfield to Roosevelt, northbound 53 at Northwest Highway, a crash on the right shoulder. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Becoming windier today with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Some sun with a high 49. Then tonight becoming partly cloudy. Gusts up to 30 miles per hour with a low tonight of 31. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
41 at O'Hare. Next news 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
And it's Manafort.
And Dan's right again.
Paul Manafort reportedly told to surrender, according to the New York Times. Paul Manafort and his former business associate, Rick Gates, told to surrender to federal authorities today. The charges against Manafort were not immediately clear, the New York Times reporting, but represented a significant escalation in the investigation that casts a shadow of the president's first year in office. Remember, Rick Gates, so this is relevant in terms of what the charges may be. Yeah. Mr. Gates, longtime protege and junior partner of Manafort, his name appears on documents linked to companies that Mr. Manafort's firm set up in Cyprus to receive payments from politicians and business people in Eastern Europe. He had been under investigation, as we've talked about in this show, for alleged violations of federal tax law, money laundering, and whether he appropriately disclosed his foreign lobbying. The question is this. Does this reflect badly on Trump?
Well, he was his campaign manager from June to August of 2016 for just a few months.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Does the indictment of Manafort hurt Trump politically? Does it say something about Trump's
judgment?
Yeah. I mean, it's, when you're a former campaign manager, campaign chairman, whatever title of art you want to use, is indicted, that's not a good day. It doesn't necessarily mean that it implicates the president in any way. It doesn't necessarily mean you can know everything about every person you hire, even senior level people, in terms of their private business life. But your campaign manager for a campaign for president should probably be vetted.
Well,
See
I think
if there's
that's
flags.
why he had such a short tenure as Trump's campaign manager.
But should be vetted.
Right before, but
so that
keep in
choice is
mind,
never made.
Paul Manafort was an advisor on U.S. presidential campaigns such as Gerald Ford's, Ronald Reagan's, George H.W. Bush, and Bob Dole.
There's one thing of being like one of these kind of stables of advisors on a particular narrow issue. There's another thing being one of the public faces of a presidential campaign. It's a whole different thing. So, I would say, again, if it's limited to his business practices and it doesn't go beyond that in terms of involvement in the Trump campaign or with any guilty knowledge of the president or others in the campaign, then it's probably localized to Manafort and his associate. But it still does represent, it seems to me, I don't know how you get around this, a bad judgment call by candidate Trump in terms of his associations and his choices for leadership positions in his campaign. And it goes to the sense that Trump just kind of picked this guy because he used to see him in Trump Tower walking around and he knew he was some kind of businessman and they had been friendly. Mm-hmm. So he said, hey, you want to come run my campaign? I mean, I'm probably oversimplifying it.
Probably not.
Well, maybe I'm not, but let's say I am. It still doesn't really absolve you of vetting at this level. It's still a black eye.
Yeah, his home was raided a few months ago at 5 a.m. They took documents out of his house.
Let's take a couple calls. Mitchell in Chicago. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah. You were talking about... Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, I couldn't tell whether I could hear you or not.
Yeah, no
Hold
problem.
on, let me fix this.
Okay, Mitchell.
Okay, you were... Yes, I can hear you, but I had it on speakerphone because I had the radio turned off. I know there's this delay. Okay, you were talking about the dossier.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how it was originally funded by this newspaper organization.
Well, no, it wasn't originally. No, it wasn't originally financed by the Washington Free Beacon. No, it wasn't. But okay, go ahead.
Well, who was it originally?
It was originally financed by the Clinton campaign. Somebody.
No, we just heard different things about that.
Okay.
They started it and then...
No, that's not what happened. No, that's not what happened.
Well, he knows Fusion GPS does opposition research.
Right. So you can hire the same firm to do different things, yes, and even concurrently. Fusion GPS was hired by the Washington Free Beacon to do opposition research on Trump and other candidates, but it had nothing material to do. So they say. I'm just reporting what we understand to be true.
Okay,
let me finish. Let me.
Like that when you were talking about it. You didn't say it like you had some uncertainty.
No. I'm just. The Washington Free Beacon has said their opposition research on Trump and other candidates in the primary had nothing to do with Christopher Steele, the agent that Fusion GPS used for the dossier, or anything with respect to Kremlin-related contacts, anything that included the salacious allegations that were in what became the Trump dossier. It was a separate and distinct thing. It was Mark Elias, the attorney for the Clinton campaign, orchestrating between the campaign and the DNC the financing of the Fusion GPS work to produce this dossier with Christopher Steele, this former British special, and frankly, this former British spy, putting it together. And I mentioned Jim Comey referring to the dossier as salacious and unsubstantiated, that even when BuzzFeed published portions of it, they said it was uncorroborated. So, as I said, maybe some things in the dossier will turn out to be true, but the reason the Clinton flacks are saying it's more important that what's in it than who paid for it is because they're trying to spin out of the fact that they paid for it and were lying about it. Number one, and number two, they can't point to anything specific that's been verified. That's the problem.
Yes. Now, how do you know exactly what the other company actually was involved in investigating about him. I mean, you only take their word for it.
Well,
I
did. Yes.
You haven't stated it.
Yes.
Like
Okay. Yes, Mitchell.
Like
yes.
It's not possible.
Yeah, Mitchell. Thank you for the call, Mitchell. Thank you. I appreciate it, Mitchell. Yes, I get it. Yes. No, I'm only going. I didn't do any independent investigation. I'm not part of Mueller's team. So no, I only know what's being reported. And we'll talk to Michael Barone about this in more detail, particularly on the conservative media side, doing opposition research like that at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. So no, that's what I'm going on. If that turns out to be, if Matthew Cottonelli, the editor at the Washington Free Beacon, turns out to have been lying about this, then there'll be a price to be paid when that's unearthed. But I'm going based on what we know to be true at this moment.
Well, why would President Trump hire him to be in charge of his campaign if he knew that the FBI had reportedly had an active criminal investigation on Manafort since 2014 regarding business dealings while he was lobbying for Ukraine?
Well, I guess that would be a question for the president to answer. Did you know that this was somebody that was in the FBI's crosshairs when you asked him to come on as your campaign chairman? That's a good question. Let's go to Jamie in Lakeview. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah. Hi. I just wanted to say that Trump shouldn't really have to worry about anything because he could answer the questions like Obama did about Reverend Wright and Bill Ayers and his associations with actual good friends of his.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Jamie. I mean, the only thing I would say is associations with Bill Ayers and Reverend Wright. Yeah, okay. And was that scrutinized? No. Did Obama get away with soft pedaling that? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that the Obama standard should be applied to everybody. We want a standard that we can all respect applied equally. So, I mean, I just go back to say that this is not absolving anybody else, but kind of this, they're just as bad as Manafort. That decision was just as bad as the Trump decision here. That's not a great argument in defense of the decision.
I wonder what Manafort did to, convince the Russian government to interfere in the 2016 elections.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's what Manafort, he's under investigation for Russian government interference.
No, he was actually under
2016 presidential election.
No, he wasn't. What we know to be true is he was under investigation for federal tax law violations, money laundering, and whether he inappropriately disclosed his foreign lobbying. That's what we know to be true. Scott on the West Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan, Amy, thanks for taking my call. Well, what I first heard mentioned was that Manafort was doing the lobbying for the Podesta group, for John Podesta's brother. I think his name was Tom Podesta. And so it's not even connected to the Trump campaign. And Manafort's a campaign guy, and he works for anybody that will pay him.
Well, thanks for the call, Scott. Yeah, no, I understand Manafort's position. The question is not about Manafort taking a check. The question is about Trump offering the check. The judgment call there. And it was a bad judgment call. When your campaign manager / chairman gets indicted, we would be saying the same thing if it was David Plouffe or David Axelrod or Mark Penn or Robbie Mook. If it was Robbie Mook, we'd be saying the same thing. Bad judgment call. It speaks to Hillary Clinton's judgment and character. So I think you have to, again, take a standard that you respect and apply it equally.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Or watch the video, Paul Manafort surrendering to the FBI. He's walking into the office with, looks like his attorney. Like 4 people are accompanying him into FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. So we'll find out soon, hopefully.
The old perp walk of sorts.
Oh, yes. Forecast for today, it's going to be a chilly one. We're going to have cloudy skies, high near 46 degrees. We have 44 degrees right now at O'Hare. Low tonight around 36 degrees. And for Tuesday, partly sunny skies, still chilly, a high of 41. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Dan, at Lake Bluff, southbound 43 is closed. Washington to 176, but there's a crash. Edens runs 28 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25. The Kennedy, now 45 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 43. The Eisenhower, 46 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound 47. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Out about an hour and 9 minutes. There was an earlier crash at the Tri-State. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes. I-80 to the merge, Bishop 436. Tri-State delays are northbound from 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Silver to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial slow about most of the way to Roosevelt, and from the Army Trail toll to 290. Northwest Indiana's clear. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Ever wonder how marketing got so complicated? When you're a large company with a national presence, you expect things like the execution of marketing materials, displays, and branded merchandise to just work. But marketing departments are buried in figuring out how to get displays to stores while fielding calls from frustrated customers and salespeople, instead of focusing on the next big idea to stay ahead of the curve. It's tough to grow a business that way. Madden has a different method. They take on the day-to-day project management, procurement, logistics, and customer service, letting your team focus on innovation. Madden is the expert in promotional marketing and merchandising. They take the most complex campaigns and make them simple to execute and manage. And it can save you up to 35% in total process improvement for your marketing and supply chain. Get in touch with Madden today and make your complex promotions and marketing campaigns simple. It's time to get focused. All the info you need to get started is at Madden.com. Madden.com.
The Chicago Symphony Orchestra returns to Wheaton College with a 3-concert series November 10th, January 26th, and March 16th, featuring Schubert's Great C Major Symphony, Mahler's Fifth Symphony, and Riccardo Muti leading the CSO in Mozart's Sinfonia Concertante, featuring CSO Concertmaster Robert Chen and violist Paul Neubauer. Tickets start at $45. For tickets, visit cso.org/Wheaton.
The same banking team you already know and trust at the private bank has come together with one of the strongest banks in North America. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. We share the same focus on building strong client relationships, and we're now backed by a bank with over 150 years of experience in putting clients first. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to helping your business grow is now stronger than ever. Visit us at cibc.com/US. Member FDIC.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I used to take 7 vitamin supplements, and I still felt sluggish at times. But with Balance of Nature, I don't feel sluggish at all. Don't do what I did. I took 7 different supplements, vitamin supplements, and they really didn't help in the long run. I still felt sluggish. But with Balance of Nature, I have the extra boost of energy, and I thank you. Thank you all again. I really, really mean it.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your big, bulky CPAP device with you whenever you leave home? Yeah, well, I was too. That's why I'm so glad I called to try the Transcend Mini CPAP for 10 nights. I can't imagine living without it now. My Transcend is smaller than a soda can and weighs less than a pound. That's less hassle to carry than my shaving kit. Plus, I was able to add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. But hey, that's not all. Transcend is FAA compliant too, which means I can finally sleep comfortably while flying. Heck, I can sleep comfortably anywhere now. So if that all sounds good to you, call now to give Transcend a try. You'll be glad you did.
Experience the life-changing freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. To receive your risk-free 10-night trial, call now. 1-800-400-8168. Again, that's 1-800-400-8168. 1-800-400-8168.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing much more than just a rate. Let me ask you, does calling the company with the best client service in America, with 11 J.D. Power Awards to prove it, matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative, client-focused technology, matter? Does calling the company with 17,000 plus team members, who are helping to rebuild the great cities of Detroit and Cleveland matter. Of course it matters. No wonder our clients have made Quicken Loans America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, a good tweet from Virtue is Dead. It doesn't matter who they arrest. I'm sure the person they arrest did not intend to break the law. Isn't that how it works today? Nicely done. It's all the Comey intent standard.
And how do you think President Trump's going to respond to this? Because I'm waiting for him to say something on Twitter, or he could just leave this alone.
I think he should. I think it'd be difficult for him to leave it alone, but he can. I would suggest he say, not knowing everything he knows, but I would suggest he say something like, "This is a sad day. Paul Manafort was a campaign aide of mine, and I'm sorry that this has occurred. But if he violated the law, then he needs to be prosecuted because we're all equal under the law. That's the American standard." And I would just leave it there.
Okay.
I doubt he will, but that's what I would do. John in Cherville, Indiana. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, Dan and Amy. Love the work you folks do.
Thank you.
This whole investigation is a sham. Everything that we've seen in the past 2 years with Hillary, and now you've got a special investigation, and I guess I'm a little bit wary because I haven't seen what the charges were, and I pay attention to the news, so I'm not sure if you folks have seen what
They haven't been disclosed yet that I've seen. No.
He just turned himself in. So.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, let's see what they come up with first of all, and I think we're overlooking the fact that Donald Trump did have him employed for 2 months, and then Trump fired him also. So it's not like he's kept him on through the entire campaign.
No.
He did fire Manafort. And again, I just look at everything that's gone on with the Clinton Foundation, and nothing ever happens there. No charges, no nothing. And Dan and Amy, I'll leave you with this. I got to believe that if they looked at everybody living in Washington D.C. right now with the same scrutiny that the special investigator is giving, with enough time, they would be able to find anything on everybody.
Thanks for the call, John. Yeah, read Harry Silverglate's book, 3 Felonies a Day, about the law. Yeah, so you're
that a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich.
Right. But here's the thing. This is what happens and why you hear the skepticism. This is what happens when you undermine the rule of law, as the FBI has done, as Jim Comey, as the director did. This is what happens when people believe that we don't have the rule of law, we have the rule of men and women. And so it's arbitrary and capricious and unfair, and different standards are applied to different people depending on your political connections. And that's sort of one of the takeaways of the 2016 campaign. I mean, it didn't just start there, but perhaps culminated there with Jim Comey's intent standard manufactured out of whole cloth that was being referred to on Twitter before, and just the feeling that some people get away with the same behavior that other people don't. And so it undermines confidence in the law. And that's a real problem. It's a real problem. If people don't have faith in the legal system, you start to lose a cornerstone of a free society, right? The rule of law. Let's take the caller we've got on 3. Hello, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. John in Mount Prospect.
Hi, I just have one real quick short question. Where is Jeff Sessions? I cannot believe that there hasn't been a move to get another special investigative thing going on Hillary. It is unbelievable.
Well,
Manafort is a minor character by comparison.
Well, thanks for the call, John. I mean, the problem, of course, is with that is that because Trump tweeted something to that effect over the weekend about, Republicans should do something about all these revelations about the Trump dossier and Uranium One and so forth. And
Right, he said there's so much guilt by Democrats, Clinton, and now the facts are pouring out. Big letters. Do something.
yeah, but Jeff Sessions has recused himself from everything related to the 2016 campaign, you'll remember. So it's not going to come from there.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
State Representative Jeanne Ives, Republican from Wheaton, started circulating petitions this weekend to challenge Bruce Rauner in the Republican primary for governor. We'll speak with her and get some background on her running mate, Rich Morthland, a former state rep from the Quad Cities, at 7:37.
And later, actor Kevin Spacey tries to cover up what he did by admitting he's gay. We'll explain what that's all about.
Kevin Spacey's gay?
Shh, don't tell anybody. That's why he did what he did 10 years ago. But first, let's go into the newsroom and catch up on news here at home and around the world with the one and only Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. President Trump's one-time campaign chairman has been told to surrender to federal authorities. New York Times reports Paul Manafort and a former business associate have been told to surrender this morning. These are the first arrest in the special counsel investigation into accusations of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russian interference in last year's election. Dangerously wet and windy weather hammering the Northeast. More than 4 inches of rain has fallen in places in New England. Open enrollment for Obamacare begins this week. Trump administration slashing advertising budgets for outreach and ended subsidies insurance for companies that they depended on to offer coverage to some low-income Americans. Fire crews are close to containing all of the wildfires that have devastated Northern California's wine country, but there's not much let up in looting. Police in Santa Rosa arrest 2 more suspected looters over the weekend. An investigation is underway following a deadly shooting during a Halloween party in Lake Forest. There, a Waukegan woman also suffered minor injuries after she was trampled by partygoers running from the scene. 2 duffel bags containing what police believe to be human remains were discovered in a Chicago park. Fishermen called police Saturday morning after discovering one of the bags in a lagoon in Lincoln Park. A dive team later recovered a second bag. Saints beat the Bears 20-12 for their 5th straight win. Person with knowledge of details telling the AP this morning that the Washington Nationals and Dave Martinez have agreed on a managerial contract. Martinez has been the bench coach for Chicago Cubs skipper Joe Madden. The News is a service of Liberty Mutual Insurance. From weather to traffic and everything in between, you have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance should not be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. 7:33, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy 1 cabinet, get 1 free. Visit us online at GalaxyHome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to creditcard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates 1/4 point, which according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Message and data rates may apply.
Sick of hair loss, thinning hair, bald spots?
Ever thought about hair restoration? It's a life-changing decision. Thankfully, the first step is incredibly easy and absolutely free because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable their permanent solution to hair loss really is. Get yours by texting WOW to 85850. You'll see for free just how great your hair could look. Plus, we'll also give you a free gift card when you text WOW to 85850. Join the men and women all over the country who have come to Bosley, the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, for their permanent solution to hair loss. If you've ever thought about getting your hair back, don't miss this incredible offer. We're giving away an invaluable information kit absolutely free, plus a gift card for $250 off to everyone who texts WOW to 85850. That's WOW to 85850.
7:35. Let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Kennedy inbound, it's heavy from Harlem to the Burn Circle, 53 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 26 from Montrose, 20 in the Express. Outbound 42 minutes to O'Hare. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 31. Eisenhower, 57 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound 50. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 57 after a crash at 294. Ryan is 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, stop and go 95th to Ogden, and from the Reagan Toll to North Avenue, territorial delays. The northbound side from Boughton most of the way to St. Charles, and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Traffic, service of Liberty Mutual Insurance. From weather to traffic and everything in between, you have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunshine this morning, becoming windy and chilly throughout the day. High 49, currently 42. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Mortgage Makeovers, a show walking you through stress-free mortgage options. Mortgage Makeovers, Sunday afternoons at 1 on AM 560, The Answer.
The hypocrites scatter when I shine the bright light of reason. I'm Larry Elder. Join me tonight at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So over the weekend, a couple of announcements. One, obviously it's not an election cycle in Illinois if Pat Quinn's not on the ballot, so he is. He's announced he's running for Attorney General.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Do you think he and Eric Harold will have a debate? They should.
If he's the Democrat Party's nominee, that's an if.
Well, there are a lot of other. Oh yeah, there's other challengers.
There's like 10 candidates on their side for Attorney General, since they've all been pent up waiting for almost 2 decades for Daddy's little girl to step down, Lisa Madigan. So, and I think Eric Harold has a very good shot to win that race.
Oh, so do I.
So that's Quinn, and then the other development is
the bigger news, Dan.
Well, there's a revolt going on within the Republican Party, and a lot of people want to see Bruce Rauner challenged in the primary, so that the race doesn't come down to, well, basically 2 big government plutocrats. Not much of a choice. They want a distinguishing brand and a candidate who can provide a distinguishing brand. And so rumors, and we've talked about it in the show for a while, that State Representative Jeanne Ives, Republican from Wheaton, who I supported in previous campaigns as a private citizen through my political activities in the interest of full disclosure, but that she is circulating petitions to challenge Governor Rauner in the Republican primary. She added her running mate over the weekend, which is required. He is Rich Morthland, who is a former state rep and county board member and now a community college professor at Blackhawk College down in the Quad Cities area. And so let's find out more about this fledgling campaign. And Jeannie and her running mate, State Representative Jeanne Ives, joins us now. Jeannie, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Good. Great to talk to you today.
So what was the decision to take this next step and circulate petitions to get on the ballot and be a candidate against Governor Rauner?
Well, GOP primary voters, they really deserve a choice, And, they can choose between, a big government run by wealthy class, or they can pick a conservative reform ticket. Families and businesses are getting lied to and hurt by the policies in Springfield, and I know that firsthand. So we're going to take on this challenge, and we're going to do it with integrity, and we're going to be honest with the people in Illinois.
Well, when you talk about politics, you also talk about money, and Governor Ronner, I mean, that is a juggernaut to go against because he's going to use $50 million of his own money in his reelection campaign. Can you even get a fourth of that money raised?
We're very confident that we can raise that level of money. We've already had a really good positive response from people, and nobody is saying that I shouldn't win. Everybody is agreeing with my policy prescriptions and what I stand for, and they're looking for somebody who's going to be honest with them. And I'll tell you what, Governor Ronner can spend most of his fortune, and it's unlikely that he can redeem his reputation with GOP primary voters.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a challenge for you to get known because you're one of 118 state reps, so people outside of your district probably don't know you as well. You don't get a lot of profile as a state rep around the state, generally speaking. But Ronner is a known quantity, and that's a quantity that Republican primary voters are revolting against because of his policy decisions. The guy that said I wasn't going to have a social agenda has had nothing except a social agenda 3 years in, and so it seems to me that that's the challenge, is getting better known, and so people understand the choice before them. So in the interest of getting better known, give us a little bit of the background on you and your family so people get a better handle on who you are and what you're trying to do.
Sure, that's great. So I actually grew up in Vermillion, South Dakota, and went to West Point, and I received a Bachelor of Science in Economics from there. I served 6 years in the Army, and my last assignment was at ROTC in Wheaton College. I left then to raise my family, 5 children, with my husband, Paul, here in Wheaton. And I got to tell you, the best compliment I've ever gotten in my life came from Mr. Cashin, who I know you know, Dan, as well.
The longtime gym teacher at St. Michael's.
Yeah, gym teacher, long time. And you know what he said to me? He said, you know what, Mrs. Ives, you've raised a solid citizen there when he saw my son Matt. And I thought, that is the best thing that you can do, is to raise solid citizens and make them a part of society, productive parts of society. And so I spent my time raising my children, doing some volunteer work, tax and accounting work on the side. And then I ran for state rep after serving on the Wheaton City Council. So that's kind of who I am and a little bit about my background.
And your husband Paul, also West Point?
Yes, my husband Paul's a West Pointer, and our son Nick graduated from West Point. But Nick's a contrarian, so he crossed commissioned to the Navy, and he's going to be a Navy pilot.
Yeah, so
you
got.
Still talked.
So one of your sons, yeah, right. You still talk to him.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
we still talk to him, and he still does root for West Point in the Army-Navy games.
Oh boy,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's really the Army-Navy games. That's the dividing line. So, one son is in the Navy, and the other is. Don't you have another son that's an Army Ranger?
Yes, so Matt is stationed up in Fort Wainwright, Alaska, and he is an Army infantry officer. He graduated ROTC from University of Illinois with a degree in electrical engineering, and he also earned his Ranger tab. So we're really proud of Matt. He's moving into an executive officer position up there in the Stryker Battalion.
That's great. Now, have you heard from Governor Ronner or anyone in his camp? Have they tried to, persuade you not to run? Because I know there's been rumblings for a while that you might challenge him.
No, they have not reached out to me at all, and, we don't expect them to reach out to us at all. But I tell you what, this isn't just one decision that he made on one vote or one particular bill. This is a series of really, I think, bad decisions that feeds into the crony capitalism problem we already have in the state of Illinois. And the other thing that I'm kind of concerned about is, public corruption is literally an everyday occurrence in Illinois. And we have a culture of corruption in this state, and officials overlook it repeatedly, and we need to detect it and, prevent it, and we need to prosecute it. And as the executive of the state, I really think that he has failed to take on that critical issue.
Tell us about your running mate, just kind of filling in the blanks here, Rich Morthland, who I know as well. former state rep from the Quad Cities area. Get a little bit on him and why you chose him to run with you.
Well, I think, the reason I chose Rich is that he actually embodies exactly what Illinois is in many ways. We are a farm state, and people forget that. Well, first and foremost, Rich is a farmer. And I think it's important to have somebody like that with that type of background in on policy decisions that are critical to the entire state. And he comes from Rock Island County, which is a county that has been decimated in terms of jobs and economic opportunity, and they're getting out-competed by Iowa. And many citizens are moving across the border to Iowa. So we need his perspective statewide on what's going on. Illinois is more than just the suburbs in the city of Chicago. And Rich is a man of integrity. He served honorably in the State House. He's, a community college professor. He's in the union, by the way. So we're really excited to have both Rich and his wife, Betsy, who is just a fireball on our team. And we think that we're going to resonate with everybody.
Now, besides big names, big-name Republicans such as Dan Proft,
yeah,
are others supporting you? I know we had Congressman Peter Roskam on our program on Friday, and he seemed very open to the possibility that you would run for governor.
Yep, Peter is a close friend of mine. In fact, I'm his state rep, so I'm thrilled to have the support of prominent Republicans like Peter. Actually, GOP voters deserve a choice, and it's going to be up to the GOP primary voters to put a good team in like Rich and I versus the plutocratic choices you have between Pritzker and Rauner.
Well, now you're going to have people who've heard the line before about pursuing a conservative reform agenda. That's what Rauner said, and it didn't happen. So, kind of the once bitten, or in Illinois' case, 100 times bitten, so 101st time shy. Why is it going to be different with Jeanne Ives than it's been with Rauner or so many other Republicans?
Well, we're going to take a different tactic when we put in policy. We're going to hyper-focus on what we need to do, and we're going to make sure Illinoisans understand how desperately we need job creation and we need to become business-friendly. Because I know firsthand that taxpayers and businesses are the last consideration in any conversation down in Springfield. So we elected Governor Rauner, literally. He was also elected to be the backstop for any bad policies coming out of the legislature. And he has failed that in many ways, from bailing out multi-billion-dollar companies to bailing out CPS on the backs of taxpayers statewide. We elected him to do something differently. And he could have turned the conversation and put his voice in many of those critical meetings, and he failed to do so. So, look, both Rich and I have a policy background, and we understand exactly the game that's going on, and we're going to insert ourselves in those conversations and make sure that taxpayers are heard and not just lobbyists and special interests.
Well, I suppose also you have a voting record, as does Rich, and so you can compare and contrast your voting record with the choices that Rauner made on so many of these issues that have angered Republican primary voters, from HB 40 to sanctuary state to trans birth certificate to the crony capitalist legislation that you were one of the few to reject. So that those are opportunities for contrast to kind of establish credibility, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm happy to put my voting record out in the public for them to see, because in many cases, most of the legislation that's run down in Springfield, you couldn't sell it to anybody if people understood what the bill did. You can only sell it to a group that's sitting in a bubble like Springfield. Nobody else would agree that most of that policy that's passed is good at all. And, there's very little thought and going into much of the legislation, and very little research and analysis. So not only am I proud of my voting record, I'm proud of the bills that I actually put, that I actually filed, that didn't come to fruition, because it tells you where I went and where I'm going. And it's all taxpayer protection. From limiting the debt that's accumulating in our municipalities and in our schools on the backs of our children in the future years, to pension reform that we have to have. So my record's wide open, and I'm happy to defend it.
So are you going to start traveling around the state and getting to know some people in the southern counties,
like Mount Prospect?
Yeah,
meet the Jacobson the Jacobson ancestral home.
I I'm thrilled. My calendar is filling up quickly, and our team is ready to do all the work and meet all the people that we need to make this successful. And I've been invited already to events around the state. So we have a broad base of support already, and that just excites our team.
And you said something at the outset I just kind of wanted to pick up on, the people that you're talking to. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't win. Because, you know, you're going to run up against conventional wisdom that says, oh, she can't win, Ronner's money, and nobody knows who she is. I mean, this is, of course, this is the easy analysis. This is why people take it, because it's the easy analysis, and we're content to be prognosticators so much of the time rather than try to work for what we want to see happen. It's easier just to predict what will happen. And so, but how do you run into, or how do you respond to that conventional wisdom that's tinged with a healthy dose of fatalism about the party and the state?
Well, I have a lot of trust in the majority of the voters in the state of Illinois. And I think overall, the Illinoisans are still very much practical Midwesterners. And while this looks like a David versus Goliath race, and maybe it is right now in terms of money, a better story really is the emperor's new clothes. So we're going to expose the fact that they have, literally no clothes on much of their policies. And I think that when you're confronted with the truth about what's going on in Springfield, the voters will turn away from that and actually vote for somebody who they know has a backbone that's going to stand for them. So that's our try. We have to get the money and the resources to get that message out. But we're confident once people hear our message, it will resonate with them.
I don't like thinking about the Ronners with no clothes on.
Oh.
So I don't know if I like that metaphor. But otherwise, I, of course, like what Jeanne Ives has to say. State Representative Jeanne Ives, Republican candidate for governor in the making. There's a caveat there. She's got to file by December 4th. Still a decision to make. Jeannie, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, good day. Thank you for having me.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for today, mostly cloudy, a high near 46 degrees. Tonight, a low of 36. And for Tuesday, we're going to have partly sunny skies, even cooler, a high of 41 degrees. Any high travel times? Let's get the latest in our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Everything for now is under an hour, but the Kennedy is getting closer. Looking at 54 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 42. Eden's just 20 minutes, Lake Cook to the Kennedy, outbound 31. The Eisenhower's 57 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, outbound 50. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 3:55 to the drive, outbound 57. The Ryan, 32 minutes from 95th to the Loop, southbound Lakeshore Drive. Now stop and go Bryn Mawr to North Avenue, northbound 18th Drive to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State delays are from 95th to Ogden, the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, and from the Bensonville Bridge to Lawrence. Veterans Royal heavy, Mountain to the Reagan Tollway, and Finley up to 290. Jim Telemonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on this show each morning. Special Halloween Follow the Logic. Ask parents and their kids about the costumes they'll be donning for Halloween over at Lincoln Park Zoo. And it turns out maybe they're not as obsessed with identity politics and looking to be offended by costumes as you would otherwise believe to watch the coverage in the cultural Marxist media.
Can we play some of those interviews?
Yeah, we'll play some. It'll be fun. Tomorrow for Halloween.
Because trick or treat.
Yeah.
Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat.
That's a good one.
You got your candy ready, right?
I do.
All the kids that come to your apartment.
I will bring it.
Condo.
Yeah, exactly.
Creepy.
Yeah. There's police line tape around my door. As well as 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from yours truly, 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. And don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com, where you get a free property tax report on your home, and also the opportunity to download a petition, help us get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot to reduce property taxes in Illinois by changing the property tax system, basically adopting what Indiana does. You can find it all at defendhomeowners.com on the property taxes. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
Shoot Point Blank is now open in Naperville. A safe and comfortable shooting range and gun shop, Shoot Point Blank features climate-controlled shooting lanes, retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Shop top brands including Glock, Ruger, or Smith & Wesson. Experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
Great range, great service, great staff.
Now open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's the reason so many people are talking about their Point Blank experience.
Brett was very friendly, and he answered all my questions. And because I'm new to pistols, I'm really grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I love it. I see a tremendous difference in my skin, in my nails, in my hair, in my energy.
I'm like the people that I hear on the radio. You know, I've had vitamins before, but this is makes a much bigger difference than vitamins ever did. That's for sure.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code WIND.
Confidence. Do you have it? Dr. Elizabeth Shake wants to help you find your confidence. Confidence is what you feel when you know your teeth are white, your gums healthy, and your breath fresh. And that confidence shows in your smile and the way you relate to your family, friends, and coworkers. That's why after a cleaning, a whitening treatment, or a dental procedure, Walden Square Dental Care wants to see you feeling happy and confident when you leave their office. Dr. Elizabeth and her team from Walden Square Dental Care will do whatever they can to make you feel comfortable. Your health and well-being is their priority. Plus, all your concerns will be addressed, from dental procedures to dental billing, and the result is your fresh, confident, beautiful smile.
Walden Square Dental Care, serving Grayslake, Gurnee, and Libertyville. Your complete family dental care practice. Visit waldensquaredental.com or for an appointment, call 847-223-0110. That's 847-223-0110.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Kurt Penn, founder and CEO of Good Foods. In 2007, I was shopping in a natural foods grocery store and had a vision for a company that would produce fresh, all-natural foods with a social conscience. Signature Bank helped turn that vision into what now is Good Foods. Signature Bank President Mick O'Rourke listened to our story and learned about our business. Mick has been with us every step of the way. Signature Bank takes care of the details so we can focus on producing good foods. Signature Bank is deeply invested in our success. Good Foods is very proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's a place where you can get custom metal products. If you manage a commercial kitchen, hotel, condo building, or food-grade manufacturing plant, then no matter the type of metal or size of the project, the skillfully trained fabrication team at Vans Industrial has you covered.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Custom metal fabrication is the backbone of my company. We fabricate stainless steel countertops, wall coverings, hoods, landscape planter boxes, industrial fan housings, and more. Vans Industrial uses all types of alloys like carbon steel, aluminum, brass, and polished stainless steel. And we have a laser cutting machine. Our laser can customize almost any project. Our team can design, fabricate, and install your project today.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Vans Industrial, customizing for you, the customer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Ann B. Davis's bowling ball, calling it the Ives of March. Jeanne Ives' primary against Governor Ronner, March 20. It's pretty good. Let's quickly go to Rick on the west side. Rick, here on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning, David. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't too impressed with Jeanne Ives until I heard her on the radio program, so thanks for having her on. She's got a lot of firepower in it, that's for sure.
All right.
And I like the idea that she's picking the farmer to be a running mate. Because if the stranger came to Chicago, they would think that the only thing about Chicago is private play, the south side of Chicago, and the LP.
Thanks, Rick. We got to jump, but thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
You're listening to AM 560 WIND, 8 o'clock, time for Fox News.
He was once President Trump's campaign manager. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Now, Paul Manafort has turned himself in, caught up in the special counsel's probe into Russian campaign meddling. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and a business associate, Rick Gates, surrendered to authorities in federal court this morning. The charges against the two include tax fraud and appear to relate to activities before Manafort joined the Trump presidential campaign in May of last year. Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway.
The president has said everybody's fully cooperating, and we'll let these investigations, there are 3 of them, one in the House, one in the Senate, one by Mr. Mueller and his very expansive large team of attorneys.
Manafort and Gates are the first individuals charged by special counsel Robert Mueller as part of his investigation into Russia's meddling in the 2016 election. Dave?
John, there's news just out on the economy showing Americans did a lot more shopping in September. Consumer spending jumped 1%, the biggest monthly increase in 8 years. Bo Bergdahl back in court at Fort Bragg this morning for another day of his sentencing hearing. The Army sergeant pleaded guilty to deserting his post in Afghanistan. The wife of a soldier who can't talk or walk anymore after being injured searching for Bergdahl will testify.
The judge is also reconsidering a defense motion to dismiss the case. Bergdahl's attorneys claim President Trump's comments that Bergdahl committed treason could be influencing the military judge's sentencing decision.
Fox's Evan Brown. Bergdahl was held captive by the Taliban for 5 years until a controversial prisoner swap. The Taliban wants another exchange for another American they hold hostage, saying Kevin King's in poor health with heart and kidney problems. Actor Kevin Spacey tweets he's gay, while also responding to allegations fellow actor Anthony Rapp of Star Trek Discovery fame had reported that Spacey made sexual advances toward him when Rapp was 14, 31 years ago. Spacey writes he's beyond horrified, apologizing for drunken behavior he doesn't remember. Fox News, fair and balanced.
From the Fox Business Network, a deal in the home building industry to tell you about. Lennar says it will buy rival Cal Atlantic Group in a deal valued at about $9.3 billion. The combination will create the biggest home building company in the U.S. This has not been a great earnings season for drug companies. Shares of Merck fell 6% on Friday after the company reported earnings, and Celgene, one of the strongest stock performers in recent history, fell more than 20% last week. So who's the world's richest person now? Amazon's Jeff Bezos has sailed past Bill Gates, who held the top spot for more than 4 years. Amazon's latest earnings beat analysts' estimates. As of Friday, Bezos had a net worth of $94 billion. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Carol Zimmer.
Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Build the wall. Build it. Build the wall. That wall on our southern border, get it done. Get it built. Build it now, doggone it. If you think I'm going to say anything else, you are profoundly mistaken. Build the wall. I want a wall on our southern border. I want to keep people out. Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Build it.
Over 70 million Americans have unhealthy blood pressure levels. Are you one of them? Introducing Berkeley Life, a 100% drug-free cardiologist-recommended supplement to help maintain normal, healthy blood pressure while supporting energy and vitality. Now, for a limited time, try Berkeley Life free.
Call 800-993-5686.
A key to maintaining healthy blood pressure is your body's nitric oxide levels. Berkeley Life helps to boost nitric oxide levels naturally. The breakthrough is from a discovery which won a Nobel Prize in Medicine on nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream. Berkeley Life includes free free saliva test strips to see your levels instantly. Now there is a supplement you test yourself and can see it's working. In a consumer study, 91% felt healthier after taking Berkeley Life for just 3 weeks. Here's Dan, an actual Berkeley Life user.
The supplements are easy to take, more energy, more clarity. I don't have to worry about my blood pressure levels anymore, and the results are fantastic.
Get your free 30-day supply. Call 800-993-5686. Just pay shipping and handling. 800-993-5686. 800-993-5686.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance. So you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home. Safe home.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. Choosing the right mortgage lender involves much more than just a rate. Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. No one else has anything like it. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center at AM 560, I'm Jim Talamonte. Delays from Met were reported on the BNSF line. There's some mechanical issues on a train near Congress Park. Edens Expressway, just 20 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 29. Kennedy, 46 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 29 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 45 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, 61 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, 45 from Mannheim. Outbound 53 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 44. Ryan is 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 25 minutes from I-80 to the merge. Southbound Tri-State, heavy 21 to 176. Northbound from 95th to Ogden. And from the Reagan Tollway most of the way to Lawrence. The Adams Tollway's fine. Reagan Tollway a bit tight from Mill to 53. Veterans Memorial, it's heavy. From Fountain to the Reagan Tollway and Finley up to 290. Northwest Indiana's all good. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Today, some sun, then becoming windier and chilly. High 49. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and chilly with a low 31. Still chilly tomorrow with periods of clouds and sunshine. High 43. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
I had Justin play that.
Too soon.
No,
Paul
it's perfect.
Manafort, you're piling on. Poor Paul Manafort.
Well, he surrendered to the FBI field office this morning. in
Yes, he did.
Washington, D.C., so it's appropriate.
And a former business associate at his Gates has also apparently been indicted. Quickly, though, one sports note, local.
Oh, yes.
I know that you're still reeling from the fact that the Astros outscored the Bears yesterday, but Zach Mueller had surgery yesterday to save his leg, that dislocated knee.
Oh, that play was disgusting.
It was. He needed emergency surgery to repair a damaged artery in his leg, so it was more significant than just a regular dislocation. So hopefully, even though he's obviously out for the season, he'll be able to get back to full strength. But just want to report on Zach Mueller, that was a horrific injury. All right, so getting back to politics and the politics of Russian collusion. Of course, the announcement, much anticipated, it was all the buzz on the Sunday talkies, who was going to be indicted and the implications of said indictment. And again, about an hour ago, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, charged in the Russia probe. That's how it's being covered. But the charges could be unrelated to anything having to do with the 2016 election cycle and be more related to Paul Manafort's business practices prior to being associated with the Trump campaign. For more on this topic, Dossier, politics, and everything else, we're pleased to be joined by Michael Barone, senior political analyst for the Washington Examiner. Michael, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's nice to be with you.
So the implications of this not unanticipated indictment, since the feds raided his house a few weeks ago, is kind of saw where this was going, but this will give the press an opportunity to continue pushing their Russian collusion narrative towards Trump, right?
Well, they're certainly going to try to do so. It doesn't look like this indictment of Manafort has anything to do with his activities during connection with the Trump campaign. He's been known to be a lobbyist and a political advisor. I was going to say political fixer for people in the Ukraine government that were allied with Russia. He made a lot of money at that. Maybe, the ordinary prosecutors haven't properly prosecuted him for non-reporting of that. We'll see how that pans out. We do know something about collusion with Russia, and that's that the Fusion GPS firm colluded with Russia's secret service and provided something that the Clinton campaign, Democratic Party, paid something like $9 million for in the 2016 campaign. Whether or not Mr. Mueller is going after that, I don't know.
Well, is that collusion or just politics as usual to have opposition research? I mean, what could the Clintons be charged with?
Well, the answer is it probably is just, on the face of it, it's opposition research. I mean, the Democratic Party has made such a, Trump is colluding with Russia. They never had many problems about resetting things with Russia before. I think that a lot of that was just theater and an attempt to delegitimize the Trump campaign, the Trump presidency. But the fact is that, this whole Manchurian candidate scenario seems to have exactly zero support of any kind. I've been listening to a lot of Democrats gleefully saying, the Russians put Trump in the White House, they control it. There's zero evidence of that. Clinging to this is pretty pathetic at this stage.
As a journalist yourself for the Washington Examiner and an analyst, what is your reaction to the revelation over the weekend that the Washington Free Beacon also had retained Fusion GPS, not to produce the dossier that ultimately got produced, but according to the editor there, to do some opposition research on Trump and other candidates? The propriety of a media outlet hiring a firm like Fusion GPS to do opposition research on candidates, does that strike you as problematic in any way?
No, I don't think opposition research per se is problematic or something evil. There's nothing wrong with investigating public records and things of that nature and trying to find out more information. That's sort of what the press kind of does or is supposed to do. I'm a little surprised by the fact that Washington Free Beacon hired a firm that seems to be at least tilting towards the Democrats and its clientele. You usually see, in partisan politics, Republicans hiring Republican-oriented firms, Democrats hiring Democratic-oriented firms. Sometimes you see a crossing of the line in that regard, and there's nothing illegitimate about that. But I found it a little surprising that the Free Beacon was involved in this, and surprising perhaps that they didn't reveal it earlier. But it doesn't change my overall view that I don't see that there's somehow a collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. The Free Beacon certainly wasn't for nominating Trump, and by the accounts that we have, the so-called Steele dossier only starts to exist when the Fusion GPS is working for the Democrats.
And we're getting some breaking news here. Manafort and Gates both charged with conspiracy to launder money. That's according to CNN. They just said that. But back to the Steele dossier. Isn't some information in the Steele dossier false or fictitious?
Well, it certainly has been alleged to be fictitious. It's been dismissed by just about everybody, at least some of the items in there, as being ridiculous. It claims that lawyer Michael Cohen, who's done a lot of work for Donald Trump, met with a Russian agent in Prague in the Czech Republic. It appears that Mr. Cohen has never been in the Czech Republic ever. That was a little bit of an oops there, and it suggests that a lot of this stuff may be Russian disinformation or something that was simply cooked up out of somebody's imagination.
So over the weekend, Trump tweeting with more of the revelations about the dossier, the financing of it, the misinformation, if not outright lying by Podesta before a Senate Intel Committee with Mark Elias, the Clinton lawyer sitting right next to him, the Clinton lawyer who orchestrated the financing of this Trump dossier. In addition to the concerns about the Uranium One deal, and was that a pay-to-play scheme initiated by the Clintons that included Hillary while she was Secretary of State, and he's imploring essentially Republicans to do something. What is it that Republicans can and should do?
Well, I think, you have investigations going on in the House, in Devin Nunes' Intelligence Committee. You have Trey Gowdy, the very able congressman from South Carolina, is doing, is in a position to do some investigations there as well. And I think that's something they should be doing. It's worthy of being done. And it's interesting that the Democrats who hired the Democratic lawyer who hired the fugitive GPS thing didn't see fit to reveal this when supposedly the whole world was concerned about Russian collusion. Well, he was doing something that people might very well think is Russian collusion himself, and he doesn't seem to have come forward with information at that time.
You've had over the last several days, the Wall Street Journal editorial board opined that Mueller should step down because he's conflicted because of his time at FBI, his relationship with Comey. Other op-ed writers like Michael Goodwin over at the New York Post have suggested the same. While Trey Gowdy has given him a bit of a vote of confidence, at least at this stage, where do you come down on Mueller's ability to fairly pursue these investigations wherever they may lead?
Well, I come down against special prosecutors generally. I think that the special prosecutor law that was passed back in the 1970s was a fiasco, and I first came to that conclusion when under the terms of that law there was an investigation of President Carter's top aide, Hamilton Jordan.
Yeah.
So that's more than 30 years ago, and I don't think we should have these people that have an unlimited access and are not, accountable to a responsible officer of government.
No, Paul Manafort was.
So I'm not for any special prosecutors, and Paul Manafort's money laundering problems presumably go back a long time before the Trump campaign.
Sorry for interrupting. Paul Manafort worked with President Trump for 3 months, or June, July, and August of 2016. Do you think President Trump should have properly vetted him before bringing him on his team? I mean, he had already had a long-standing investigation due to his past dealings in Ukraine several years before that. So should he have separated or not have already had him on his team to begin with?
No, I thought he was a fishy appointment, and I wouldn't have made the appointment. But President Trump and candidate Trump never sought any advice from me on appointmts.
Yes. Council of one.
He has any plans to do so in the future.
Right. But I mean, but the point that Amy's highlighting is that he's got to be accountable for that decision. And when former senior campaign aide gets indicted, that's never a good occurrence.
I think that's a point. That's a fair point. I think that given Manafort's role in the lobbying business and the connections he had in Eastern Europe, the former Soviet Union, I would never have hired him. I gather he was there to kind of manage the convention, which he did a fairly good job of. But
right.
I wouldn't have made that hire, no.
He is Michael Barone, senior political analyst for the Washington Examiner, WashingtonExaminer.com. Michael, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, good to be with you in Chicago. Thanks. Bye-bye.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, according to CNN, Manafort Gates were charged with conspiracy against Conspiracy to launder money and false statements. So we'll get you that information as soon as it becomes available. First, here's your forecast. Mostly cloudy today, a high near 46 degrees tonight. We hit a low around 36 degrees. And tomorrow, we're going to see the sunshine, but it's still going to be cool, a high of 41 tomorrow. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. And Metra trains are backing up on the BNSF line. There's a train stop near Congress Park with mechanical problems. There are backups behind it. Eden's just 20 minutes like Cook to Montrose, southbound 29. Kennedy, 46 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 29 from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Outbound 45 to the airport. The Eisenhower, 61 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. 45 from Manheim. Outbound 53 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 44. Ryan is 31 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, stop and go Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. We have a delay on the southbound Tri-State, 21 to 176. Northbound 95th to Ogden. Reagan, all the way to North Avenue. And from Bensonville Bridge to Lawrence. Veterans Memorial, very slow going. Fountain to the Reagan Tollway and Finley up to 290. Eastbound 8094, heavy approaching Klein Avenue with a crash on the right lane. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
As flu season approaches, you know how to protect yourself against colds and viruses, but do you know how to protect your computer network? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions can cripple your company's computer network, stopping business in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to make an appointment with Turnkey IT today. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there's an email attachment opened in error or network intruder, Turnkey IT immediately knows and remedies the situation. They will arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I sing your praises all the time because I was very run down. I was getting bronchitis all the time. And ever since I started taking this, at the first sign of a sniffle, by the next day, it's gone.
Love it. Great product. Yeah, I should have taken it years ago. It works. You know, your skin is better, your blood pressure is down, and stuff like that.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND. That's promo code WIND.
Why choose Kubota and Associates to handle your retirement? Well, because we provide objective advice and concierge service, investments, insurance, retirement planning, all at one location. We also partner with qualified attorneys and CPAs to provide complete financial strategies for our clients. We use a variety of investment and insurance products to custom design retirement plans that can give clients a clear look at their future. We help you stay on the path toward financial independence. If you don't want to do it yourself and you want to work with a team to create a financial strategy for your future, give us a call. 630-777-7955. That's 630-777-7955. Would you rather get retirement advice from some TV show host who doesn't know anything about you, or Kubota and Associates? 630-777-7955. Kubota and Associates is a registered investment advisory firm. Jack Kubota is an investment advisor representative and insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Shoot Point Blank is now open in Naperville. A safe and comfortable shooting range and gun shop, Shoot Point Blank features climate-controlled shooting lanes, retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Shop top brands including Glock, Ruger, or Smith & Wesson. Experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
Great range, great service, great staff.
Now open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's the reason so many people are talking about their Point Blank experience.
Brett was very friendly, and he answered all my questions. And because I'm new to pistols, I'm really grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
AM 560, The Answer.
You can never surrender.
Like a little Corey Hart.
Oh, I love this song.
Remembering Paul Manafort. Your call, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
And
Sean from Elmwood Park. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You know, Dan, you asked a question a while ago, and you asked that question, does it harm Trump? And the answer is only when the people who support Trump make an excuse for this Wayne Newton lookalike scumbag.
I was thinking more like Engelbert Humperdinck. But okay, Wayne Newton.
40 years. No, Humperdinck is way better than Manafort. 40 years
How old are you
he's been
guys?
pimping political prostitution. 40 years. Everything we as conservatives, as Republicans, as Americans hate is this pimped political corruption favoritism. That's his only business. He produces nothing. He's made hundreds of millions from selling political corruption. And you're going to now say because Trump liked him, he's not as bad as Obama. What do we stand for as Republicans, as conservatives, as a nation? When you support what this guy, from Angola to the Philippines, to the Eastern Bloc, to South America, this is all he
Sounds like
does.
Winston Churchill's
political favoritism.
It sounds like Winston Churchill's Iron Curtain speech.
Yeah. Well,
all
we
right,
already know he's
yeah.
been charged with 12 counts
Okay.
from this indictment. Charges of conspiracy against the U.S., conspiracy to launder money, failure to file foreign bank reports, and false statements.
And
That's business as usual.
yeah, all right, hold on, Sean, hold on. Amy has a bone to pick with you.
Yeah. Why wasn't I invited to your party on Saturday?
Don't I invite you all the time? Don't I tell you just knock on the back door before anybody gets there? I give you the Harvey Weinstein invitation. You never show. It's an open invitation.
Oh,
no,
Sean,
clearly
no,
you guys
no.
you invited Candace from DuPage, and you did not invite me.
Thank you for
I wanted you to show up. A good cat fight, hair pulling, blouses ripped. I was disappointed you didn't come.
Well,
Sean
next
is-
time you might
Sean
want to
is
invite
a Philistine. Thanks for
I
the
mean,
call,
really.
Sean. It was
What's
the
going
Amish.
on around
blame
here?
the Amish texter. The Amish texter organized it. He cut you out.
Who else was there? Verlin, I saw.
Berlin was there.
And this tweet picture, you have this nice
Tom
family
from
photo.
Elmwood Park was there.
Was Dennis from Crystal Lake there? Yeah, these broads, I can't get him to pay me any
I did not see Dennis.
attention.
Dennis from Crystal Lake was
What other
not there.
listeners were there and you didn't have me come?
We had Derek from Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You went out of state and I still didn't get on the party list?
Yeah, but we had Scott Swanson from Red State Rising. He was there.
Uh-huh.
You
Nice.
weren't. You weren't there.
I didn't get invited. Racist.
Yeah,
No, you're not
hey.
racist, you're sexist.
Yeah, you've offended the Amish community. I don't know. You're gonna have to figure out how to make amends. Jim on the north side.
Yeah, good morning. You got people like your last caller who were saying the Manafort's a political prostitute and has nothing to do with Trump. Trump was the one that gave him buckets full of money, changed the GOP platform about the Ukraine with no explanation, and then laid down and took whatever Manafort could give him. So, yeah, they're linked together all the way. Trump needs to accept it, and eventually we're going to find out whether those prostitutes were with Manafort or peeing on Trump.
Right,
Yeah.
here's,
okay, Jim. Yeah. I mean, so you want to make connections, and then you make salacious allegations. It sort of undermines your point. And frankly, you also weren't listening to the last caller because Sean from Elmwood Park was saying something akin to what you were saying about Manafort. So I understand everybody's passions are at an all-time furor when it comes to anything Trump related, or on the other side, Clinton related. How about going where the facts lead and asking legitimate questions and getting responsible answers to those legitimate questions, and seeing if Mueller will actually go where the facts lead, and all of these offshoots of this kind of under the umbrella of Russian collusion, because Trey Gowdy talked about it over the weekend. Uranium One, the Russian dossier, the pathological lying of the entire Clinton camp. Paul Manafort violated federal laws with respect to his business practices. Fine, prosecute him. Don't care. Do not care. Any other Trump associate, former campaign aide, whoever, do not care. No interest in protecting anybody. But I hear the people that are screeching the loudest about Trump and Manafort without any foundation for it. They don't seem to apply the standard across the board the way that I'm suggesting it be applied and that I apply it.
Well, according to the indictment, it reads like this. Manafort and Gates generated tens of millions of dollars in income as a result of their Ukraine work. In order to hide payments from the United States authorities from approximately 2006 through 2016, Manafort and Gates laundered the money through scores of United States and foreign corporations, partnerships, and bank accounts.
That's right. So that has to do with his business practices.
Right. It has nothing to do with...
And by the way, Ty Cobb, Trump's lawyer, who I don't know why he doesn't go by Tyrone, Ty Cobb said they're not worried about Manafort making any, damaging statements about Trump. All right. Hold on. Amish Texter found a phone. Somebody must have run over a message to him.
Wow.
Amish Texter, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Amish Texter.
Yes. Hello.
All right, go ahead.
Calling them.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Amy. I thought you'd be busy with Tatum Eli. I didn't expect that guy next to you to show up in his golf shirt either. But I thought possibly you might be busy at the Heaven's Gate, cult that you go to, possibly, if not busy with the kids.
Heaven's Gate. Nice Heaven's Gate reference. Thank you very much, Amish.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I want to get to that Frank Stevens testimony. Man has to defend his existence before a congressional subcommittee. Powerful stuff at 8:38.
And Kevin Spacey defends what he did to a 14-year-old boy and now comes out and says he's gay as his form of defense. But first, let's go to see what's here at home and around the world when we enter the Fox newsroom. It is 8:30.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort, according to the New York Times, has been told to turn himself in to face charges stemming from the Russia election meddling investigation. Fox News is working to confirm, and we don't know yet what those charges might be. The Times reports a former Manafort business associate named Rick Gates is in trouble as well. President Trump has said the investigation should be focused on the Democrats and Hillary Clinton's campaign.
He considers this a hoax.
White House counsel Kellyanne Conway on Fox and Friends this morning. Wind and rain hits the Northeast.
Crews are working to restore power after a severe storm caused flooding and took down trees and left hundreds of thousands without utilities from New Jersey to Massachusetts. The National Weather Service says parts of New England have seen wind gusts of up to 70 miles an hour or more.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers in New York City. That rain's tapering off with strong wind continuing through this evening. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Mike Gallagher believes there are some issues we should all agree on.
Am I wrong to react to the Harvey Weinstein scandal by observing that not everything has to be left versus right? There is this paradigm now where everything that occurs becomes left versus right.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Not knowing the difference between a cold and the flu can be frightening. But with the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, this Halloween season, you won't be tricked by any spooky symptoms. On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Need a CPAP? Then we need you. We're CPAP.com, and we carry popular brands of CPAP equipment, including ResMed, Respironics, and more. To move inventory, we're selling some of our ResMed CPAP machines at prices lower than you would think. Call now to learn more about these affordable ResMed CPAPs. We'll even provide free shipping on your ResMed machine order so you'll get it fast.
Call 1-800-700-3181. The best part? No insurance needed. Our CPAPs are priced so low they can even cost less than your copay and deductible through insurance. CPAP.com has shipped over 1 million orders and carries a large inventory of sleep apnea equipment. With little retail overhead and no middlemen, we're the best way to get comfortable, effective sleep apnea equipment at incredibly low prices. Again, CPAP.com has a large inventory of ResMed CPAPs and is offering free shipping on these devices. Call now for these great deals and others. Call 1-800-700-3181. If lines are busy, please try again. That's 1-800-700-3181.
In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560, The Answer, I'm Jim Talamonte. We're seeing heavy delays on Metra's Milwaukee North and BNSF lines this morning due to mechanical problems. Eden's Expressway inbound just a little tight Elston to Montrose. 20 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound it's 25. Inbound Kennedy, 45 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 33 from Montrose, 28 in the Express. Outbound, 19 minutes to Montrose, 45 to the airport. The Eisenhower, 55 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. 37 from Manheim. Outbound 46 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 41 minutes. Bryan is 31 minutes. 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive. Heavy Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State, bumper to bumper. 75th to 31st. From the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Next to the Pennsonville Bridge to Lawrence. Adams and Reagan Tollways are good. Veterans Memorial, very heavy, 75th to the Reagan Tollway, and then from Findlay up to 290, eastbound 8094, heavy approaching Klein, crash in the right lane. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Becoming windier today with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Some sun with a high 49. Then tonight becoming partly cloudy, gusts up to 30 miles per hour with a low tonight of 31. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Heard Saturdays at noon right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I want to get to Frank Stevens, but we got somebody from Gary, Indiana, who claims to have known Paul Manafort for many moons. Let's hear from Chris and Gary here on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris.
How you doing? Paul Manafort.
Hey, Chris, turn your radio down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul is just as Sean described him. He is a guy who absolutely has profited from the political system. And I got to know him in 1980 on a campaign in Connecticut. His father had recently been indicted and convicted as a mayor from New Britain. And I know that was weighing heavily on him at the time. It's very sad on a family basis what the heck has happened. But I called on Trump a year ago to get rid of Paul because he represented everything that Trump was campaigning against.
Right.
And it was incredible to me that he would go along with the Roger Stone, Paul sort of worldview while he was also saying that he was going to drain the swamp. I agree with Dan with what you said a few minutes ago. You apply the standard, and it's not about these individuals. They're all fungible. They're changeable. Trump has got to stick with his program, and the Senate has got to pass the program. And folks in America have got to have better economic prospects and then start sorting out some of these other issues that are equally important. It's my 2 cents.
Thanks for the call, Chris. And, yeah, I agree with that. That's interesting about Manafort's father, business practices that run in the family. All right, I want to switch gears because this is, everybody's talking about the same things. We talk about different things, a little bit broader. And this is important, and this is a video that should be congressional testimony that should be watched by everybody. The gentleman you're going to hear from is Frank Stevens. Frank Stevens has Down syndrome. He testified before a congressional subcommittee, a House subcommittee, about that, but because, of course, Down syndrome has been in the news after, and we talked about in the show a couple months ago, reports about Iceland having no Down syndrome babies born in the last 8 years because they've all been aborted, and Denmark claiming a 98% abortion rate for unborn children diagnosed with Down syndrome, and just how ghoulish that is. And think about this. Wesley Smith, writing about it in National Review Online, puts it well. Think about having to go before a congressional subcommittee and justify your existence. Well, that's what Frank Stevens did, and he did it in a delightful way, a joyful way, but a substantive way, too. Here's how he started addressing members of Congress.
And members of the committee, just so there is no confusion, let me say that I am not a research scientist. However, no one knows more about life with Down syndrome than I do.
And this declaration from Mr. Stevens.
Whatever you learn today, please remember this. I am a man with Down syndrome, and my life is worth living.
What a sweetheart.
Is he right? Is his life worth living? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. In the world of tests that can identify abnormalities, disabilities, and the incidence of abortion I just described in Iceland and Denmark, in a world where, like in Canada, you have euthanasia expanding to, children. Is he right? Is he right? Stevens went on to address the view that people with Down syndrome shouldn't exist. He shouldn't exist. Imagine doing that before Congress.
Sadly, across the world, a notion is being sold that maybe we don't need research concerning Down syndrome. Some people say prenatal screens will identify Down syndrome in the womb, and those pregnancies will just be terminated. It's hard for me to sit here and say those words. I completely understand that the people pushing this particular final solution are saying that people like me should not exist. That view is deeply prejudiced by an outdated idea of life with Down syndrome. Seriously, I have a great life. I have lectured at universities, acted in an award-winning film and an Emmy-winning TV show, and spoken to thousands of young people about the value of inclusion in making America great.
And Frank Stevens went on to talk about how people with Down syndrome are a gift. They're a gift to society in 3 specific ways that he delineated. I'm sure you could add more.
I don't feel I should have to justify my existence. But to those who question the value of people with Down syndrome, I would make 3 points. First, we are a medical gift to society, a blueprint for medical research into cancer, Alzheimer's, and immune system disorders. Second, we are an unusually powerful source of happiness. A Harvard-based study has discovered that people with Down syndrome, as well as their parents and siblings, are happier than society at large. Surely happiness is worth something. Finally, we are the canary in the eugenics coal mine. We are giving the world a chance to think about the ethics of choosing which humans get a chance at life. So we are helping to defeat cancer and Alzheimer's, and we make the world a happier place. Is there really no place for us in the world?
What about that? What about that question? Is there no place for Frank Stevens in the world? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Understand the trade-off that Frank Stevens is talking about. And I've been fortunate enough to have some exposure to persons with Down syndrome and disabilities, intellectual and developmental disabilities, through Envision Chicago and other good organizations that provide services to this population. So, and the state should as well. In Illinois, we do a terrible job, like we do everything else, but other states provide humane services too. So think about the trade-off. We provide some services for individuals with intellectual and developmental challenges to get through their everyday life and enrich their life a little bit. And in exchange, they provide joy and make us more fully human. Is that a good deal? I think it's a good deal.
Should we end genetic testing? I mean, our gynecologists, every time you're pregnant, they're like, well, we'll see if your child has Down syndrome or spina bifida or whatever. There's a myriad of genetic disorders that you check. And, you know, I didn't even bother doing it. The first time around, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to know because I don't want to have that decision to try and make a decision. It's the same decision Sarah Palin faced. Sarah Palin knew her son was going to be born with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And she made the right choice. I think. I mean, it was her choice, but she made the right one.
I hope Frank Stevens' testimony goes viral. So we've tweeted it out. It's on my Facebook page. Pick it up. You should watch it all 7 minutes yourself, and you should also share it. Important questions he raises, I think, and does so in a very thoughtful and compelling way. Alan in Rockford, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. I think the notion of filtering out people before they're born based on potential birth defects or mental defects is sickening. I can speak from personal experience. My daughter was told that her first was going to have spinal bifida and perhaps Down syndrome, and it scared the you-know-what out of all of us. And what we got was absolutely the opposite. We got a 5-year-old that's rocking on legs and can read and can carry on conversations. And what if a bad decision would have been made and we wouldn't have received the blessing that we have? This whole notion is sick.
Thanks for the call, Alan. Alan in Glen Ellen.
Good morning. I just wanted to share a story I saw years ago. Gene Stallings, former head football coach at University of Alabama.
Yeah.
He had a son with Down syndrome, Mark, who has since passed away. At any rate, they did a long piece on him, and they were showing him at the family home interacting, doing things that fathers and sons do. And at the end of the piece, he said, if I had a choice, if God came to me and said, Gene, I could give you a perfectly healthy son or give you Mark, he goes, without hesitation, I would take Mark, his son with Down syndrome. So take that, you people, if there's no value in life.
Thanks for the call, Alan. Great story. Ralph in Rantoul. Hey, Ralph.
Yeah, good morning. I guess the question that we should be asking is, whose idea of perfection are we going to enact? Because what we're talking about here is somebody deciding that Down syndrome baby shouldn't. What's next? I think when Sears started Planned Parenthood, wasn't it about trying to minimize the birth rate of minority? And if that were spoken about so openly now, it would be ghoulish, because it is ghoulish. So instead, we talk about the Down syndrome question. And again, what's next? Whose idea is it? People with blonde hair, brown eyes, people maybe Randy Newman will chime in.
Thanks for the call, Ralph. Yeah, I mean the whole the new eugenics, as it were. Tom on 57.
Yeah, it kind of it was nice to hear him, and just the fact that this is even a discussion. It's almost out of the Nazi playbook. You know, when do they come for you? It's very Margaret Sangerish, and just I'll leave you with this. Since they can screen for everything, if you look in the crime stats, I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of Down syndrome criminals.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think they're delightful and they're nice.
Thanks.
They're nice people.
Thanks for the call, Tom.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. Square Trade does not cover loss or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to Square Trade phone protection instead for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. Square Trade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to Square Trade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to Square Trade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's a wonderful product. I mean, it's an absolute wonderful product. I'm so grateful that I heard about it. Yeah. And at first I didn't take it faithfully. I'd forget. And then I'd say about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I really started taking it right. And what a difference. What a difference.
What are you waiting for? Good health is just a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code WIND.
Depression. You need to make it go away. Cure or remission is here. The revolutionary treatment of TMS.
800-604-0208.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive. Here's how it works. There are areas of the brain that control mood. If you suffer from depression, research has found these areas to be underactive. TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate these mood centers, causing long-term, medication-free relief. HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin offer TMS. End the frustration with life and relationships.
It's FDA cleared and it is covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare.
Dangerous drugs and other treatments just mask the depression, cure, or remission. Get a free consultation.
800-604-0208.
HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
Are you facing foreclosure, been foreclosed upon, in a bad modification, or just stuck in a bad mortgage? Well, we may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. We defend foreclosure actions. We bring claims against the banks and the servicers for wrongful foreclosure and other violations of mortgage servicing regulations. And we help people negotiate modifications of their existing mortgages, often including principal reductions. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, and advice regarding your options.
Hi, this is Rayanne from Lou Bridges & Associates. I am one of the loan modification processors here, and if you are in need of any additional information in regard to a loan modification, please contact the office.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call. A borrower called me after contacting the lender who boasts about having the lowest rates and closing costs because he thought my competitors' closing costs were excessively high. I compared loan estimates, and the interest rates were identical, but our definitions of low closing costs were a lot different. Fact is, my closing costs were over $1,000 less than the lender claiming to have the lowest closing costs. When purchasing a home, you can either work with the lender who talks and talks and talks and talks about low closing costs, or you can work with me, a lender who actually has low closing costs. Then think of all the things you could do with an extra $1,000 when we originate your loan, like pay for the movers, buy a new computer, new TV, maybe new carpet for your new house. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License T 4358 and MLS 19186.
Varicose and spider veins. Wow, what a gift from my mom. She had them, I got them, and not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing skirts and shorts because I was embarrassed and I really hated the way my legs looked. When my kids asked me, "What are those things on your legs?" I was done. I finally went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour, and I was right back to work. What they're doing with lasers these days is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband has noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics for years because I really believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part, my insurance covered the procedure, so stop hiding your legs. Call Vein Clinics of America right now for your free consultation. Call 800-960-0303. 800-960-0303. That's 800-960-0303.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, so looky here, Kevin Spacey has come out and admitted that he's gay.
Yeah.
First
boy,
we had Barry
what a
Manilow.
revelation. I saw American Beauty. I already got the gist.
Oh, you got.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Well, apparently he had to come out. This is as a way of deflecting because a former actor, has come forward. Anthony Rapp. Do you know him? He was in the Star Trek Discovery. Well, when he was 14 years old, he was on Broadway with Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey said, "Hey, I'm having a party after the show. Why don't you swing by?" So he got there and realized, I'm the only child here. So he went into Kevin Spacey's bedroom to watch TV. He said that's when Kevin came on, picked me up like a groom picks up his bride, took him over the threshold. I didn't squirm away initially because I'm like, what's going on? And then he lays down on top of me. He's then pressing into me, tightening his arms. He was trying to seduce me. So he was able to get away to go into the bathroom where he saw a picture of Spacey with another man. He said, all right, well, then I guess he's gay. Then I decided I need to get out of here. And he told him he's going home now. He followed him to the door, blah, blah, blah. And he kept saying, are you sure you want to go? And I said, yes, good night. And then I left.
And Spacey, his response was to apologize and claim that he was blind drunk and doesn't remember anything, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, he talked about he has a lot of respect for Anthony Rapp. He apologizes to him if he made him, if he's apologizing for his inappropriate drunken behavior. and I'm sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all these years. But then he came out to say that he's gay, as if that makes it all better. But there's a difference between being gay and being a pedophile.
Well, yes, and this goes to, as shaky as Corey Feldman may be, this goes to this nagging story about Hollywood and pedophilia run rampant or unchecked. And obviously you've got a huge star and a great actor in Kevin Spacey, but you wonder if that was an isolated incident, because we know usually it isn't.
Yeah, and also he wrote, as those closest to me know, I've had relationships with both men and women. I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man.
Uh-huh.
I do want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior.
Uh-huh. We'll see. The hits are going to keep coming. You can guarantee that.
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, Mr. Quinn, our newest member of the Morning Zoo crew, and Keith Conrad, our executive producer. We're back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 5 a.m. with Kevin Matthews.